Mortgage One Studios live with Russ Clark. Yeah, it took me a second. Technical difficulty, which means they had me doing the technical stuff. But good morning. It's Friday. You made it to the end of the week. And I know Greg Wilkinson's going to be popping in here sometime shortly. I hope. I was looking for him. Let me just check. In fact, there he is. Good morning, Greg. Since you're sitting, let me move my. I'm going to move my camera real quick. I'll be right. It was already moved. Well, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, I want to talk to you about flies first thing.
Hey, that was yeah. I'll put my hat on.
Well, I got no hair. You have hair.
Yeah.
There we go. That's all right. I like the USA stuff. The flies down in South County have been a problem, an issue for many years.
Yes, many years.
And it seems to ebb and flow as far as the severity.
Yeah, it does, and there are things that contributed, but I believe, and I want to say it was like 10, 12 years ago when California started taking their sewer plant waste.
Yeah, they call it
feces, whatever, biosolids.
Yeah.
But they were dumping them on fields.
And, they were in the open?
Yes.
Okay, I knew they were putting it in a landfill somewhere too.
Well, yeah, but they were putting it in the field, putting it in the landfill, and see the reason they're doing it in Arizona and hauling it this far because it's illegal to do it in California,
right?
Of course,
right.
And it came up in the back then it came up because of the flies, and supposedly did an analysis down there, and they said, well, because of the vector, so a fly can only fly so far.
Right.
And they said, yeah, it's not going to get into the city of Yuma. Yeah. And we had heard how bad it was in certain parts of South County. And in fact, the people that were harvesting dates, there's a date grove in that same area, that the flies were so bad, they had to cover up their faces and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, it was horrendous. It was like African country or something you see on the news where it's got so masses of flies.
Worse. Yeah. And then they had someone went down, did an analysis. Oh yeah, the vectors there, they can't get to Yuma. And well, that was crap.
Yeah,
that was crap. My background is biology. Yeah, they move and then they find some rotted fruit or something. To breed, and then they fly, and so it was just a bunch of garbage.
Now, a couple questions. It's human waste, biomass, whatever it is.
Right.
My understanding was going into the landfill and then being covered up at one time, and they were saying, "Well, no, we're covering it."
Yeah.
But it can't be used on agricultural products that are for consumption.
No, but my understanding now is where they're putting it. It's alfalfa fields.
Okay,
and I haven't confirmed that, but I talked to somebody last night instead of putting it on alfalfa fields.
It's going crazy again. I guess there's a ton of flies out there. I know Tyler Woodman from the Lemon Grove has been very vocal, been on the news lately, and doing stuff. And it's not acceptable.
No, it's not. The flies are horrible, even out at our house. But the bottom line is something's got to be done. There were some bills that went through the state. I've made a couple of posts about the only way to get people's attentions is to form a class action lawsuit and take on ADEQ, and it's on state land, I guess.
Apparently, they sent the county, fly, insect people, which are cool, and they said they couldn't find the source.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means. How could you not find it? Because the flies didn't used to be there until after this company started dumping human
and
biomass.
And there are some other things like the farmers, and we've had agriculture products here for forever.
Right.
But when they harvest the leftover lettuce and that kind of stuff, they're supposed to plow it under
Yeah.
in so many
Disc it,
days.
yeah.
Yeah. But flies basically, in my understanding, can reproduce in any type of decaying organic material, and and the
Possibly.
flies hatch and they move. And what we've seen is over the years that's built, and they said, well, we didn't have a freeze this year, and all those different types of things. And they probably contributed a little
But
bit.
it's been noticeable for the people who've lived here for a long time. They're saying like this never happened before.
Right.
That we've had this abundance of insects.
So the bottom line is ADEQ and probably in a lesser amount, that this is one of the, while I love our state legislature and
Sure.
stuff, they've let us down on this.
Well, Jonathan Lyons has done his best with it also.
He's
I know
working
he's working
hard.
on it.
Yeah.
And he's made a formal request that the state terminate the lease that this company has.
Yeah.
And the lease is a month to month right now. It can be
Right.
terminated.
Now, why on earth would we want to take California's crap?
Yeah.
I used a good
Yeah.
word, crap, and let it be dumped on our fields and turn us into a dumping ground.
Somebody's making money on it.
They are.
Okay.
They are. And
Somebody's
so,
making money, but what's it doing to the quality of life? And according to this article that's in the newspaper, I think it was in the newspaper. It came out that the date farmers are losing millions. I don't know how, and I don't know what exactly. I don't know if the flies are eating the fruit or what, but they're losing money.
well, yeah, and there's
It's a quality of life thing.
and every resident is suffering direct damage because of this.
Yeah.
Because like we've gone out on my place, we went out and bought those sticky things. I got the ultraviolet light fly catchers out there, and
Right.
it's still, I had to hang literally because the flies are into the house and stuff. That
Right.
I've had to hang those little sticky things over our trash can and over our cat's feeder food, and then outside and stuff where we sit. And
It's
I mean,
terrible.
it's terrible.
We get flies in the house all the time. I mean, I'm on fly swatter brigade, but we try to mitigate it. I mean, we open the door, we close it real quick.
Yeah. Well, and we Nicole and I went to the fair yesterday and got our tri-tip and Cavan sausage like we normally do. The tables were covered with flies. I mean, we were battling the flies to eat our food.
Right.
And it was horrible. It's horrible. There's direct damage that's been suffered by the people of Yuma County because of this. And that's what you told me about the agriculture losing money because of this. So ADQ has caused us damage.
Yeah.
And if they don't do something about it now, I think we need to, the citizens of Yuma County need to form together, grab an attorney and file a lawsuit. And the lawsuit will be a lot of money. If you figure you spend, $300, $400, $500 a year on fly mitigation, pest control. Every person in Yuma County.
Yeah.
I mean, it totals up. I figured it total up something around $30 million. And then to do the mitigation, to have to take out the soil or whatever they have to do, spraying, for the flies, that's going to cost.
Well, Tyler Woodman with the Lemon Grove, which I love that place. I don't know.
Yeah.
They really made a hit with that Lemon Grove. He said that they have to clean with Clorox, all the time. They're totally cleaning it up all day. It's just a mess.
Exactly. It's direct damage is suffered because of what ADQ has failed to do.
Yeah. And have to swat every day. We do that at my house. We're swatting flies. I try to keep it at control over it. And we walk in the house as fast as we can and shut that door.
Yeah.
That's the only way they get in. But
yeah. And those pest strips, some of the pest strips that I put out.
Yeah.
Now I've had them about a week.
Covered.
I'm gonna have to throw them away and refill them because they've just in a week. I mean, it's horrible.
Yeah. And I guess this all started down south is when people feel now it doesn't help us to have the county look at it and say they can't figure it out.
Well, I know pretty much everybody can figure it out.
Yeah.
They weren't here before and now they are. The other thing too that was brought up is, and again, I'm just going by what I was informed about, is spreading on these fields and then growing alfalfa. Where are they feeding that alfalfa to?
To cows.
Yeah, but then what happens?
We eat them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a second factor that we're getting that. I don't. I don't know. It's not good.
I don't like it at all. And it's spread. And I know it's gone on for a long time. There's been people complaining forever.
Yeah, and I'm of the opinion that screw California. Let them dump their stuff in their own area.
It's on state land.
Yeah,
and the state land trust is responsible for those contracts. They could cancel it.
Yeah, and it needs to be done. I mean, enough's enough, and it's going to take a while to mitigate the damage that's been done. And with the businesses, the agriculture community, and just every resident. I mean, ADQ should be, paying. You figure, I don't know, 60,000 homes, and you spend $500 a year over 10 years.
That's a lot of money.
It gets up to $30 million.
Maybe we could get it diverted to Maricopa state land.
Yeah.
It'd probably get more notice at that point. I don't think they.
Yeah, I think there's still some empty ground in downtown Phoenix,
that's state owned.
Yeah,
we could spread it out there.
Yeah. Well, you got the state capitol.
I bet you'd be arrested for doing that.
Probably. You'd be arrested for doing that, but yet they can do it here. And
they would bring out guys with moon suits on to remove it.
Yeah, exactly.
Out here, we're supposed to just live with it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not good. Hopefully that thing gets taken care of.
Well, I know Jonathan Lyons is working really hard to get it done. And I think you said this, but they said they came out and they had they couldn't find any evidence of fly breeding and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's crap. Flies breed everywhere they can find something, Yeah.
A listener's asking me for my phone number. The phone number to call in, and it is open. It's my cell phone number, which eventually we'll get a hard line here, but it's 928-941-0304. Maybe he's got a fly problem.
Yeah. Everybody does. I think.
I didn't realize it got up into Yuma. I didn't really connect my fly problem to this.
Well, I'm on the eastern side of the city, and flies are horrendous.
I'm right out by the hospital. We got flies, but it's not near like you would have probably.
Yeah, now they're horrendous out there. And like I said, we were at the fair. Whew, it was bad. It was. I mean, they're. On the tabletop we sat at, we tried to keep and we were unclear. There were probably 50 to 100 flies on top of the table, just walking around, just on our tabletop.
It's just not. I don't know. It's just I don't like it.
No, and I think we're at the point where we need people to take action. And I know the Board of Supervisors has tried to do a few things.
Yeah, they've been sending notices.
Yeah, but it's
to get it taken care of.
It's time. I think this probably is, at least locally, I think this is probably the number one thing for the next election.
Oh, people are upset about it.
Yeah, and
so we need politicians to promise to get rid of the fly infestation.
There you go. I think so.
Is there something we could work out with the colleges that work on agricultural?
Well, I think so. Obviously U of A is really tied into the ag community, and we haven't heard too much from the ag community, but
I know at times they had like white fly infestations they were able to mitigate and take care of.
And that I think that happened after Desert Storm when we're coming back. That I think the white flies came back from the Middle East, but I don't know that for sure. But that's what I had.
But they were able to figure out how to knock that down.
Yep. And the other things,
maybe the common housefly is too tough. I don't know.
Well, and the other thing that I was talking about is, there's, you can't dump it within, I don't remember what it was, certain distance of the water. But, and then I started talking about, well, what about groundwater?
Yeah.
And that stuff gets sucked down in the ground. And, like we talked about, the crops that they grow on, like alfalfa, obviously they can't grow vegetables and stuff that's consumed by humans right. But, again, we're second. You look at the second factor. If they're growing this alfalfa and it's being fed to
It's
cows,
being down into the groundwater and all that.
yeah, exactly. And enough's enough. Let California take their own crap.
Yeah.
We take enough crap from California. I'm using kind words.
Yeah, you are. I appreciate you doing that. I just want to mention Yuma County has posted some job openings in case you're looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything. I want something that pays a lot of money and I don't have to do anything.
Open up a daycare. They want a facility parts supervisor, full time, $21 to $23 an hour. Maintenance worker, $19 to $27 an hour, that's at the hospital though. That's maintenance worker at the hospital. Fire and security system supervisor. They don't list how much that pays. But when they put down the role, like it's a supervision, project management, technical oversight of alarms, cameras, access systems across county's facilities. That's going to be a big tech. That's a little technical connected.
Should be. Should pay pretty well.
That's going to be more than $23 an hour.
Yeah.
And then custodian at the city of Yuma, I guess, at the city of Yuma for the custodian.
Okay.
At $16 to $21 an hour. Back when I got out of school, that would have been a lot of money.
Yeah, that was a lot of money for me.
It's a lot.
So there's no Leering Center.
Leering Center, you get those. I think that's for immigrants.
Yeah,
they get those jobs.
Yeah, there you go.
Way to fame and fortune and all that kind of stuff.
From Somalia. Yeah.
Yeah. Motorcycle accident in Yuma yesterday. I hate to see that.
We've had so many accidents, it seems like lately. It's like all the time, every time you.
And when you go down on a motorcycle, there's the injury is more pronounced, or possible.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning near the Marine Corps Air Station. Doesn't say if it was a Marine, but I've talked to colonels in the Marine Corps before that say they shudder when they see these new recruits on motorcycles because they know the statistics and the numbers that get hurt on these motorcycles. And they lose a Marine.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah. I lost one too, but and I used to cringe when first thing when a Marine got his reenlistment bonuses, and it was like tens of thousands of dollars. I always told him,
big crotch rocket
or a new car.
Oh.
And I said, okay, don't go out and spend your entire reenlistment bonus on a new car or a new bike.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. And about 90% of the time,
good luck with that.
And I remember one of my sergeants got a big bonus, went out, bought a nice fast car, rolled it like the second day.
Well, yeah, you need to take training. It's a different deal than what you're used to driving.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he rolled it on 24th Street, where 3E, where it curves.
Was he hurt?
No, he was
good.
Okay. But
good.
Yeah.
Good. You get a better chance at a car when you roll it, but when you roll a motorcycle,
there's nothing there. And more than half the time, it's not you.
No,
somebody doesn't see you, or
I still blame the driver. You know why? I mean, if you're on a bike, you know that no one sees you. If you're on a bike, you've got to drive so defensively.
Yes, you got to have your head in a swivel and watch everything. But
you just don't casually say, "Well, everybody sees me." They know. No, they don't. They don't see you.
My roommate, we had bought motorcycles because I've had motorcycles before when I was young. And
I've had lots of them. I like them.
Yeah, but my roommate was driving along, and this lady pulled up, and he was like looking at her. She was looking at him, and as he's gone past, and all of a sudden she pulls out, and he goes, "Well, what are you doing? You were looking right at me." She goes, "Oh, I didn't see you." She goes, "You were looking right at me when you pulled out."
I believe her. She didn't see.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've rode motorcycles for years. I mean, I still ride them occasionally. I'll move one for the shop or something. I'll move one.
Right.
I'm so cautious now. I mean, I'm to the point of paranoid.
Well, that's why Marines.
Not as much fun.
That's why Marines and soldiers are young, because they're young and invincible and all kinds of things. As you get older, you get more hesitant and reserved.
And that made it less enjoyable.
Yeah.
Being so hesitant. And again, it's a new bike. I'm just not. I'm not familiar, so I'm not going to get. This happened at 7 o'clock in the morning on 3E, and the motorcycle it was a single motorcycle accident, ran right into the back of a semi truck.
Oh wow!
Well, sometimes they go so fast you don't realize you can't stop as fast. I have no idea what happened here, but it's a motorcycle accelerates like crazy. Some of them,
Yeah.
most of them.
And it is hard, and if you hit sand or anything
Oh,
like
yeah.
that when you're trying to stop,
That's right.
it's
Stopping power goes away.
Yeah, it's gone quick.
I hope he's okay. Doesn't say anything. He says the rider was taken to on Vita Health. So they say the crash is under investigation. I think it's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, if you run into back end of somebody, it's
Unless that semi
your
was
fault.
backing up at high speed.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the case. I know I want to talk about Hegseth a little bit, and it's in here somewhere. But
Oh yeah, I just saw something where he is going to change the rules about bringing firearms on base. I believe.
Yes, and I knew you'd be interested in that one.
Yes,
There's a couple of them. That's one of them, and it's kind of hard to imagine that our trained troops can't have personal firearms on base. It's a federal installation,
right.
and they went by those rules that you can't have a concealed weapon, you can't carry a firearm, but apparently it's changing.
Yeah,
he just ordered it on a memo yesterday.
Mhm.
That he said to uniformed service members who are trained at the highest and unwavering standards, these war fighters entrusted with the safety of our nation are no less entitled to exercise their God-given right to keep and bear arms than any other American. Our war fighters defend the right of others to carry. They should be able to carry themselves.
Yeah, that's going to be. I support that.
Yeah,
but it is going to be interesting because there will be some accidents and stuff like that. But
of course,
but I think it's a good thing, making the bases, and obviously the MPs at the gates, they're armed, and
Correct.
their military police are armed. But we've had several instances, and it may be a result of the increased threat from Iranian terrorists, Hezbollah, Hamas.
That has to be taken into account.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he did mention tragedies like at Fort Stewart, Holloman Air Force Base, Pensacola Naval Air Station.
Yeah.
And those incidents made clear that some threats are closer to home than we would like.
Yep.
He said, in these incidents, minutes are a lifetime, and our service members have the courage and training to make those precious short minutes count.
Mhm.
Before today, it was virtually impossible for War Department personnel to get permission to carry and store their own personal weapons aligned with the state laws where we operate our installations. Service members already own personal firearms, concealing and carry weapons who previously not permitted on federal sites, including military installations. Those who own personal weapons had to register guns with the base authorities, and storage was often controlled by the installation.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes you had to keep your weapon in the armory, and then of course you could only get to it
during business hours.
During business hours, exactly. Yeah. But that's the thing. I would guarantee that most of the Marines on there do have personal firearms, and keeping them and getting in trouble because you keep it in your vehicle or in a lockbox in your vehicle.
That's right. You're probably not even allowed to take it on.
No, you're not. You can't even take it on the installation unless the first thing you have to do is go over to PMO, Provost Marshal, and register it, and then take it and get it locked up. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, and we're talking about, trying to have, for schools having, had this discussion about allowing certain teachers that had the training to be armed in our schools to harden our schools. And, you saw some of the things where they went after, the temple, the Jewish temple and stuff, because they had security guards there that took the guy down right away. Nobody was injured. Otherwise, all those children that were there,
those don't get blasted very much on the fake news.
Right.
They get ignored.
Yeah.
We hear about incidences about firearms.
Right.
Of course, the firearm that was carried by that poor gentleman that got killed by an ICE agent because he was resisting and all that stuff, and there was an accident.
Yeah.
They never once condemned him for the firearm.
Well,
that was just ICE. And that was an unfortunate situation.
Well, and you do when you get a weapon, you need to have some training. So you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you need to be advised that, like, if you have a weapon in your car and you're pulled over by a police officer, DPS or something, first thing you do is like, sir, I want to let you know that I do have a weapon in the car and it's here. You know, so
do you do that?
I'm
just checking to see if you get pulled over very much.
I don't get pulled over very much. I don't know when I went through a string about two or three times in like 3 times in a 6-month period. I got pulled over and it was like, man, but I haven't been pulled over in 10 years.
Yeah.
15 years.
I have done that before, especially after I took the concealed weapon permit class before it was illegal to carry without even in the state of Arizona. And I told the officer, he pulled me over for something. And I said, I just want to inform you that I do have a concealed weapon permit and I'm carrying a firearm. He says, good for you. And he walked away.
Yeah. Well, but that's, what you should do.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you say it politely, sir, I need to let you know that I do have a weapon in the car if you see it, and here it is. And it's all good. Of
course, I'd rather have the good for you comment than him reaching for his sidearm and telling me to exit the vehicle.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he didn't react like that at all.
Yeah. And that's the same thing, you know, you talk like Barry Todd, one of the things that if you start getting into a conflict that you have to do is you have to inform him, I'm armed.
Right.
The person, I'm armed. And then that changes things dramatically.
Barry Todd did everything right in his incident.
Yeah.
And he still suffered.
That's right. That was a travesty.
It was terrible.
Yeah. That was a travesty what happened to him. And he spent, fortunately he had the money to defend himself.
But he was on thin. He rode it thin. I mean, he could have lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, it made it impossible for him to do his business like he was doing, because it's one of those businesses that has to be approved. And once you get accused of a crime, you're guilty in that industry.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. And he lost, he was, I think he's suspended. Of course, I'll plug his book, Stand Your Ground.
Very good
Barry
book.
Todd. It's a good book. Yeah. It reads pretty fast. And, it talks about his story.
Right.
And thank God we have good judges here.
Yeah.
And he got a good judge that realized, well, this is pure self-defense.
Because the prosecutors and the police officers didn't care about what the laws were. It was, you shouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
It was just ridiculous. But it all comes out in the book. And in fact, he went and saw my friend Edward in DC, went to a dinner with Edward the other day. And Edward read the book and liked him. And I know he's pushed it on to some of his Hollywood types, thinks it's possible, that would make an interesting movie of some kind.
Yeah. And so my fact checker just told me I have to explain who Barry Todd is.
Do you?
So, yes, I do.
Better do it then.
So Barry Todd, he lives here locally, runs Invicta Financial. And it's about his story that someone was, I want to say, accosted, but was trying to make certain things towards his wife.
Well, they forbid him to re-enter the building.
Yeah,
says
you're not let him back in the building, and he wanted to get his wife out of there. Yeah, as any husband would do.
Right.
And so he got a weapon, and when he went back in to extricate his wife, the bouncers weren't a big help in this case, and the guy attacked him.
And he had his gun in his hand, not pointed at anything but the ground, which is legal in the state of Arizona.
And he told the guy he was armed. He just wanted to get his wife.
I just want to leave. There's no threat. I just want to get out of here. And he got attacked.
Yeah, and he got attacked and ended up in the scuffle.
And the gun went off and hit the guy. Yeah, he survived it, but lots of medical issues.
Yeah, and anyway, so Barry is retired Army Ranger, Ranger Hall of Fame. All this stuff. And
I think that hurt him. I think the cops looked at it and said, you didn't need a gun. You're a Ranger. You could have handled it or something.
Yeah. Well, the guy was a lot bigger than Barry was.
Yeah.
And Barry's not small, but he's not a big guy like this guy was. And
no.
Yeah. So if you want to hear more about the story, what happened here locally, it's Stand Your Ground by Barry Todd.
Yeah. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
And I think it's a bestseller. Even.
Yeah, it was. It is.
Yeah. So
that's enough of our plugs.
Something he should be. He's very proud of, and he should be.
Yeah.
And because he pulled himself out of a situation most people would have crumbled.
Yeah. And I think cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Millions probably.
Yeah,
and lost
3 years.
revenue and everything else. Of course, his business rebounded. And he's fine.
Yeah. And the gun just didn't go off. Basically, I guess I'll tell that part of the book. He basically said, this is going to suck for both of us.
He did.
Yeah. And
it went off.
Yeah.
But he pulled the trigger.
Yes. Yeah. So,
yeah. And they were struggling to get that gun from him for some reason. There was 2 of them.
Yes. That's right.
And it was unfortunate.
Yeah. And any police officer, anybody in the military knows you never let someone take your gun, because once they get the gun, then you're screwed. So,
yeah. Well, Higseth's going to make right to carry legal.
Yeah.
On military. I don't know how all the colonels going to like that. I don't know.
Well, I think, the biggest thing I believe is it will cause the bases to start doing classes on base. And
nothing wrong with that.
No, I think the more training you get, the better.
Yeah. Let's talk Carl real quick. Carl, good morning. Uh-oh.
Yeah, you there, Carl?
Well, it's my phone. It is now.
Operator.
Good morning, Carl.
A great 2 cents for today.
Hey,
what's up,
Carl?
my friend?
You were talking about, you just forgot his name now.
Barry Todd.
Barry Todd. I got to know him. He's an awesome person. He's one of the people he does what he says he's going to do. And if you've been around him a little bit, he's one hell of a fun guy to be around too. So.
Oh yeah. He's a fun guy if you can keep up, man.
Yeah, well, you're gonna have to take a vitamin pill when you start, but
that's right.
That's one of the people in Yuma that is one of my awesome people. So
yeah.
He's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
So
he's out to help people. So.
Yeah, Barry's going to have to buy us a beer after we plugged his book and all.
He should do it anyway.
Well,
yeah.
You know what? He's the guy that would step up and buy you a beer.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah,
he would.
Hell, he might buy you a steak dinner with a beer.
Yeah. Hey, how's the fair going, man?
You know what? Having a blast, really.
Good.
The people are really interested this year, so.
Yeah. Well, last year or 24, we said that was super critical, and it was, but I think this midterm is just as critical, so we can keep people in place, so we can continue to move forward.
And if you heard some of the promises from the Democrats, if I get elected, we're going to impeach Trump 42 times. There's 42 issues. I mean, any nitpicky thing they've got, they're going to come after him and try to stall and destroy his administration, which stalls and destroys our country.
Yeah. Well, exactly what's been going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
You
better work harder, Carl.
Really,
we need you.
Yeah. Well, what's amazing to me, I'm really surprised how many come by and they won't stop and talk or nothing, but I get a lot of thumbs up, and I haven't had any fingers down yet. So
okay.
There you go.
Well, you're a nice guy.
Yeah. The governor, the governor's race this year and attorney general are all key races.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yeah. Well, don't forget Michelle Pena. She's a key too.
Absolutely.
Yes,
she's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those and Andy Biggs, he's been keeping track of what we're doing down here. So, and I think he's going to be in town on May the 2nd.
I don't have his schedule in front of me, but I know he's been traveling and he's getting around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not shy coming to Yuma. He's come to Yuma a lot. Even when he was a representative, he came down to the border quite a few times and brought delegations with him.
Yeah, he's been a good, even though he didn't represent this area, he's been a good person to have, and we did a fundraiser for Mark Lamb, who's running CD 5, Congressional District 5. He is an amazing person. But, one of the things he said is like, look, he goes, every congressman has a vote So whether you get somebody elected in your district or the district next to you, it's still, the votes still all count the same. So it's just as important to have Mark Lamb in, you know,
Oh, yeah.
at the state or at the federal level, as well as Gozar, you know, and if we could get rid of Grijalva, that would be amazing. But yeah, Gozar and Mark Lamb and, you know, several of the others. Yeah, it's really important.
Well, I see what it comes down to is keeping Arizona red.
Yeah.
And
Or
it's-
making
and
it
it's-
red,
and it's-
because, you know, I get people yell at me and say, how could it be red when you got a governor and and two senators that are Democrat, attorney general?
Well,
It's embarrassing.
Well, how about LD 23? It's 2-1, something like that. And Democrats,
Yep.
there's twice as many Democrats as there are Republicans.
Well, yeah.
And I haven't seen that in black and white, but that's what's been to the grapevine. So
Well, it's easy to check.
That-
I mean, you can get the
It's-
demographics
Yeah, it's like 17%
difference.
more Democrats than
Yeah.
Republicans. So it's tough
Yeah.
district, you know.
yeah,
Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so it's
So
good to
that's-
see you at the fair though, Carl. You're
you
you're
know, had a
rocking
blast.
those
You were there.
yeah, you're rocking those overalls and stuff there with your engineer outfit too.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm one of them Trump Force captains, and I'll do everything I can for that man.
Yeah.
Because what he did for the veterans is totally awesome. To give us the kind of health care that he offered us,
Yeah.
totally awesome.
It was. It was.
So,
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Greg,
Yeah.
well, Greg, I want to thank you for all you do for us, too, because you helped out a lot.
Well, it's all a team effort.
Well, you know what it really kind of boils down to. You have a nice big ship, and you have somebody who's steering the damn thing. Well, you did a pretty good job. You got it straightened up pretty good. We're not wobbling as bad as we used to.
Okay. Well, that's good.
You took out a lot of wobble, I guess. Have a good day, my
All
friend.
right.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Carl.
Carl, no wobble.
Yeah. No wobble. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're talking about Hegseth's, you know, standing up for Second Amendment. Good for him.
Yeah.
He also did some shakeup. He just asked the Army Chief of Staff, General Randy George, to step down, who retired immediately.
Yeah.
He needed, and the left is going nuts on some of these things. This is kind of normal.
Yeah, it is. But so what happened, and I think I've talked about this, is when Obama was in office,
Yeah.
he handpicked and selected a lot of generals. And you know, the president approves the generals, but he handpicked a lot of generals to start moving up in the ranks to change the military. And now a lot of those have been eliminated. I mean, you know,
Well, a lot of
moved
it early
out.
on, even in this administration, have been asked to retire.
Yeah.
Which is normal. They are at the will of the administration.
And yeah, you know, and I don't know how this happens, but when you get senior officers that are promoted or, you know, by Obama that are like anti-gun and those types of stuff, I mean, that just doesn't go to me with the military. I don't know how that
Yeah.
goes, but you know, there have been some, and thankfully most of those now I've gotten rid of it, and they're focused on their mission. And that's what Hegseth has really done, focused on the war fighting, because that's what their job is to you know, go out there and take on the mission. But I will say one thing, and it's interesting that the MEUs, Marine Expeditionary Units, there's 2 of them that are on the way to the Gulf. The number one mission for that they actually perform for, it's a battalion team, is humanitarian relief and those types of things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, most of the time when the Marines are deployed on a MEU, they go in to provide humanitarian relief or something to
There's
some
nothing
country.
wrong
There's-
with that.
no, there's not. And you know, that's you know, you talk about power projection, but then you talk about, you know, hearts and minds and that kind of thing. And, you know, like we actually went into Somalia on the float I was in to do humanitarian relief. You know, talk about a country that has nothing. It's probably Somalia, I think, is worse than like Ethiopia and some of those places, but
But you still go in armed.
yes. Well, yeah, that's another story.
Okay.
I'll tell you that other story later.
All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't disarm to go into humanitarian.
No.
You're
you
still a
don't.
fighting force.
Exactly. And even sometimes when we go in Liberty in some ports, you're still armed.
Okay.
Called Cinderella Liberty, where the officers and staff NCOs are armed.
And now at our home bases in the United States, you can go in armed.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
And we'll see how that all pans out.
I think it's, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, there's going to have to be safety classes, and there'll still need to be some rules and regulations about,
Sure.
carrying weapons in your uniform and how you can do that, and all those different types of things.
Right.
It's just like, it's just like carrying a weapon, out here. You have a constitution, basically changing the basis to constitutional carry.
That's the way they framed it. Even.
Yeah. And there'll be some regulations, and you probably have to take, an extra training class, which I think is great. I recommend anybody that's going to buy a firearm, first of all, take a couple of classes, and if you haven't fired a weapon, go take Sprague's first shots class or something like that. And
I've been a concealed carry forever, but I had a couple of years there. I never even picked that weapon up. So I asked your wife just to work me over a little bit.
Which end does the bullet come out of?
Yeah, well, all that stuff. That's where she starts. And we start with the plastic bullets, the whole bit.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I think she taught her last class. She had 40 people out in Welton that she went and taught a gun safety class, and it's 3.5 hours or something like that.
Sure.
And that is, she teaches the class prior to actually taking shooting. And then after you take the gun safety class, and Sprague's does a gun safety class too. You can, and
Sure.
I'm advertising now for Richard, but then they have a class called First Shots, and it's not very expensive. I don't know, it's $30-$50, something like that, where you go through class, and then you go in and you fire your first weapon for the first time if you've never fired one before.
Hey, we're both very pro weapon, but I'm very pro training.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't buy a firearm for safety and then just stick it in a drawer and I'll figure out how to use it when somebody breaks in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you want everybody safe around you.
Yeah. I've been carrying a weapon since I was like 5 or 6, hunting, and we used to bring our weapons to school.
I did too when I was in high school. It would be in the trunk of my car. I didn't carry it into the building.
Right.
But I would have it with me because I'd do duck hunting in the morning.
Yeah.
We'd go out there before dark. Before the sun comes up.
Yeah.
And as soon as sun rises, we'd see we can't bag a few ducks.
Yeah.
Then go to school.
Yeah. And we were 12 years old when we got the firearm safety class and got certified to carry a weapon by yourself when you were 12. And we had to bring our weapons into the school, into the classroom.
And lock them up or something, or no?
No.
Really?
No, you just carried them in.
How many people would freak out right now?
Oh, yeah.
They'd shut down the schools in this county. If you did.
Yeah. Yeah. And all the kids, all the 12-year-olds would file in with their usually 22s.
Yeah.
You'd have a 22 rifle of some type. And
Well, and they used to teach firearm safety and firearm marksmanship and, like a PE class. Before my time, I didn't have any of that in my schools, but you did?
I did. Oh, yeah.
Different part of the country.
Yeah. Well, it was in St. James, Minnesota, town of like 2,300.
You had that at school.
Yeah.
We didn't have that in Delaware. But,
yeah. No, we did.
It wasn't. Getting back to Pete Hegseth, this Randy George, I have no idea why he fired him, and they don't say anything bad about him. He just says it's time for leadership change in the Army, and that's and that's fair. And I guess his number 2 is going to take over. Army's vice chief of staff is going to be the acting chief until they figure it all out. But Hegseth has been having some dust up with the Army Secretary, Dan Driscoll.
Okay.
And
well, that dust up, only goes one way when you're the boss.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
But apparently they've had words, and there was recently a list of promotions that Hegseth objected to some, and Driscoll refused to take them off. And then, so he did it, and
when you're the boss, you can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
But that does, I mean, that it's unfortunate to have that kind of dust up with the guy that's,
Well, you know, it's so in a short story when I was city administrator. I mean, that's what I told my directors. It's like, look, I don't need you to all sit around the table and tell me yes,
right.
you know, and you know, you can tell me what's going on and stuff like that. And then we have the discussion and then I get the final say though.
Yeah.
And, you know, so just because you have a disagreement doesn't mean, you know, that it's bad.
No, I
You need
agree
to.
with you.
And I think Trump's the same way, you know. Now you're not going to take him on, but you will.
No.
I think he wants those discussions and he listens to everybody. You know.
He does.
Yeah.
He even listens to Kid Rock. You know, he
Yeah.
just it's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you realize that when Tiger Woods wrecked his car in that drunk driving thing, he was on the phone with the president
Yes.
shortly thereafter. I don't know if he called the president. Probably he called him
He did, I think. Yeah.
and said, "Trump, I'm in trouble."
Yeah.
And then he told the cop, you know, and that's how we all know is that
Yeah.
when the cop went over and said, "Hey, we need you over here." So, and he hangs up, he said, "I was just talking to the president." It's not a cool thing to do. I don't think I'd do that.
Well, he shouldn't have brought it up.
That
but
name dropping thing was going to help him.
But I think at this point, although we don't know that with the hydroxycodone in his pocket and stuff,
Right.
that he is, I'm sure he's addicted to pain pills. I mean, we've
He-
seen that a bunch before.
Well, Rush Limbaugh had that problem.
Yeah.
After he had injury or some stuff, he got addicted.
Yeah.
And I understand he got permission. I don't have that story in front of me, but Tiger Woods got permission to leave the country to go to rehab at
Yes, the judge let him go.
another
Yep.
country,
Mhm.
which is good.
Mhm.
Let him get whatever he needs and figure it out. And he you know, very rich guy, could easily have drivers. He just didn't like it. He wanted to drive his own car for some reason.
Well, I think that time's passed,
I think so.
and it's probably right. At least for the next couple of years,
Yeah.
until he demonstrates that he's responsible. But you know, besides the speeding, and he said he was distracted because he was looking at his phone.
I know. That's
So-
not a good thing
So
to say.
drugs, high, speeding, and watching your phone.
Yeah.
Three bad things.
He may
And
end up having to do jail time over this.
He may.
You know, and if he does, he does.
Mhm.
And I know there's a celebrity involved and all that, but you know, whatever's right, you know, we're all equal in that.
30 days or
That'd be tough.
or
He's a big boy. He can handle it.
you know, and I don't know if he does 30 days, but I think community service, having Tiger Woods come out and do some youth events to talk about how the things that he did great, but also how he screwed up.
I'm even
and
throwing a
don't make
golf
these
lesson.
mistakes.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that type of community service would
make
be
it a
very
win-win.
valuable if he can fix himself. That's the issue.
Okay, I hope so. And I wonder now, he's older, so we don't expect the kind of golf game that he used to have.
Right.
But have these drugs kept him back? Because he's been in contention.
My understanding is that he can still play. The problem is he can't walk the course because of his legs. He can't walk.
Well, you can.
And he will not allow them to give him an exemption or a waiver to
I say you
ride in
can
a
get
cart.
one
You can.
if you're handicapped.
You
He's old
can.
enough to be on the senior tour, isn't he? He doesn't have to be, but he could be. I think he is.
I think he could.
Yeah, you can
But,
still play.
Yeah, he
the
can
regular
still
tour.
he can still compete. The problem is he can't
Walk.
walk the course, especially, you know, they're talking about the Masters on 18, that he'd probably never be able to make it up the fairway like on 18 and some of the other holes.
He's got
too.
that much injury just from golf
Yeah.
or other
No,
things?
from the car accident
Oh,
and
the one where he crashed.
in his back. As you know.
Yeah. Well, he has back problems because of the golf swing, I think.
Right.
It was.
Yeah, but yeah, his legs and stuff. That's my understanding. He can play and he can compete. He's still, I wouldn't say he's at his top of the game, but he's still competitive. But he can't.
At
walk
his
the
age, how many
course.
people are?
I know.
It's not common, especially with his injuries and stuff. But
Yeah.
I wonder as he gets off these painkillers, does that help his game or does that hurt it?
You know, it depends upon because surgery can only go so far.
Right.
You know, and as we know, he almost lost his leg in that last accident.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Hey, he needs to be smart. Take the cart, dude. You know,
Yeah,
you're injured.
but he doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
But that's
and
a
I
pride
understand
thing,
that.
really?
It is. I understand that.
Well,
You know, when he gets on the senior tour, then, you know,
maybe he'll do it.
maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I understand his feelings, and I understand him still want to compete. He's not at the point where he doesn't want to compete
He
anymore.
wants to win on his own two legs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't want anybody to say, well, he won, but he had the advantage of a cart.
Right. But I think the big thing in the long term is how he's going to mitigate his pain without going on some of these addictive drugs and that kind of stuff. That's one of the big issues. You know, I mean, I know people that have used alcohol and all kinds of things, but so that'll be the key, is that if he can get along without these addictive painkillers.
But it'll kill him. I mean, look how many people we've lost to that, you know, celebrities
yeah.
and stuff, to this kind of nonsense.
Yeah, Elvis and
Michael Jackson.
Prince and Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, they're all really sad affairs.
They
There's a lot of them. I mean, you know, you can go way back, naming names, but
yeah,
So,
Morrison. Yeah, if you go way back.
Yeah. So
The I got this note from Sandy. Sandy is prolific in her reading and passing on interesting tidbits to me.
Okay.
Yeah, she does. This one's probably well known. And this is from Donald Trump. Donald Trump put this on his social media. Vice President J.D. Vance is now in charge of fraud in the United States, and it is massive, pervasive. And the job he will be doing is in conjunction with many great people within the Trump administration, will be a major factor in how great the future of our country will be. We will call him the fraud czar, and his focus will be everywhere. We're primarily in those blue states where crooked Democrat politicians like those in California, Illinois, Minnesota, Somalians beware, Maine, New York, and many others have had a free-for-all in the unprecedented theft of taxpayer money. The numbers are so large that if successful, we would literally be able to balance our American budget. Raids have already started in LA. Good luck, JD.
yeah. Well, and I think you saw on the news, they just announced they just busted a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
I mean,
Newsom's going nuts over it.
Well,
He's lost his mind.
Yeah. Well, he is. He's just a loser that's just hanging out right
He thinks
now.
he's going to be president. And I think he might get the Democrat nomination. They don't have anybody.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. You go way back, and it's like you want to pick people that have done like great jobs. You know, like Ronald Reagan did a great job as California governor.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know,
Or Schwarzenegger didn't do bad.
yeah, he did. But of course, he wasn't born here, so he couldn't be president. But yeah, so you look at those things, and then you look at what I'm going to say Schwarzenegger now, but you look at what Newsom has done in California, and I mean, he's destroyed that state, and they were you know so far in debt, and you know his train to nowhere, and fires, and now I heard they gave the people that had storage containers by their houses, you know, waiting to build because they can't get their permits through California, that they've ordered them to remove their storage
Unsightly.
containers. Yeah.
To the neighbors, which you don't have any neighbors because no one has a house.
Because they're all burned down. Yeah. So they ordered them to remove the storage containers. You know, it's
you still can't get a
injury.
permit.
Yeah. And you still can't get a permit. I really think it's probably time for Trump to just say, I'm declaring a national emergency and the feds are going to take over. And
I don't know what they have to do. It's crazy.
And I don't know if he can do that legally.
But those people are voting in themselves. They're voting this nonsense in. Yeah. They embrace this nonsense and they turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yep. But, you know, amazingly, 2 Republicans are running 1-2 in their jungle primary for governor. Wouldn't that be amazing?
It's driving them crazy.
Yeah. The sheriff and Steve Hilton. I can't remember the sheriff's name now, but Steve Hilton. Yeah.
There's 2. It starts with a B. Yeah. Something.
Yeah.
Both not Bono, but
yeah. both great guys. And there's,
and it's really freaking them out.
Yeah.
What is it? Eric Swalwell, one of the Democrats that's running.
He is.
He's complaining that there's new charges against him, and it's the Republicans' conspiracy just trying to knock this. That was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
like we
going to
can ignore it,
release
yeah.
they're going to release the evidence. They're going to release the
Yeah.
investigation.
Yeah, he's upset because he's a candidate for governor, and the timing's bad for
Yeah, well, it's public records. Guess what, dude?
him. It's out
Yeah,
there.
you run for office, and
Mm.
people are going to request your public records, and all your crimes and accusations are going to come out.
The Democrats are freaking out. They've talked about trying to get people off the rolls. Like if we could just
Yeah.
have one candidate running.
But they all have too big of egos. 'Cause
They
all
do.
think,
They're the
"No,
man.
I'm the one. Everybody
I'm the
else
one."
should resign.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, that's what about anybody that runs that kind of position. You have
Yeah.
to believe in yourself.
Yeah, that's true. You have to be an alpha.
Sandy says report says there's a new job sector number. They've added 186,000.
Yeah, I heard they had a great job report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an estimate was going to add 70.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, those, whatever, how many, $18 trillion worth of new construction stuff is starting to pay off.
Of course, that 18 trillion, it's not here yet. Most of it, some of it is.
Yeah.
It's starting, but it's going to funnel in over the next 5 years or better. You know, they can't funnel it all at once because they got to start construction. But
Mhm. Well, and that's probably some of those things we can talk about locally too, is like the proposed data center,
Right.
and some of those. I mean, data centers are basically clean and high paying jobs, and they will bring in their own power. They recycle water. It's possible, like Palo Verde, not a lot of people know this, but Palo Verde takes their water off of a wastewater treatment plant,
I've heard that.
recycles it and cleans it and reuses it, and they make that water sparkling clean as you can ever. I mean, it's almost like glass.
I don't know how the chip
Okay.
manufacturer does it. That takes a lot of water too. Do they recycle?
I
I would assume, but I don't know. I don't know.
And so I
Mm.
would not be concerned about that. I mean, the city of Yuma has water.
Yeah.
Some of these other entities, like the different ones around the state,
Yeah,
like the Class 6 water,
Central
is pretty
Arizona
much
project
gone.
is in control of the least protected water.
Right.
It's CAP.
Yeah, and the city of Yuma has been way below their water allocation for 100 years, whatever.
Which is we almost have to start taking it or lose it
Yes.
because the way the feds are looking to come in and take over because the state's working on this new water deal
Mhm.
can't come to an agreement. So the feds
Right.
say we're going to do it, and they're not going to take into account of what you were allocated. They're going to take it out of what you've been using, even if you voluntarily gave up some. You already
Yeah.
gave that up.
Right. And I believe the city's water is priority 3, which is way ahead of all the metropolitan cities. I think they're 4, and a lot of the cities now have lost their Class 6 water, priority 6 water, and they're having to use groundwater, which is causing some problems. But the cities is priority 3. So it's like at the top of the list. And of course, the ag community has some priority 1. The city has
but
priority 1 water
the
too.
ag business is the number one target because that's the
Right.
volume. That's where the water is.
Yeah.
We use a lot of water in ag. We use much more in ag than we do in residential. In Yuma.
But they've as you know, but the ag is very, very efficient in their use of water, the way they use their water. So
I see those graphs on the amount of water they use per acre and stuff over
Mhm.
the years, how it goes down and down and down, and
Right.
their yield goes up and up.
Yeah.
And that's just working with the science.
exactly, they use satellite imagery and can see
Leveling, laser leveling of all
Yep.
these fields.
Yep.
And of course the plants are continuing to they breed the plants to be water
Mhm.
efficient,
Yeah.
and to be able to survive.
right. And I don't want to make the choice between having food and having water. So hopefully we can balance that
wait a
all
minute,
out.
wait a minute. What about a food or a golf course? How are you going to choose? What are you going to do, Greg?
That would be a tough choice.
We'll cover that one when we get there.
Just keep Desert Hills and the rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know
well-
you're a fan.
Yeah.
And I am too. And I think we should have plenty of water to do whatever we want to do. But we need to start having major projects, and we haven't had those in so many years.
Yeah.
It's been very frustrating for me.
Yeah. Well, Robbie Barkley's and I hope he doesn't get upset. He probably doesn't listen to us, but he told
tell
me,
him.
he goes, there's not a water shortage. He said there's a cheap water shortage.
That's true.
Yeah. And you could desal, and there's plenty of water, you know, we have tons of water here that's too salty
Right.
to use in the under the ground and stuff. But so you'd have to put in some desalination and that kind of thing.
Well, we
But
got one right down the street.
yes,
It's old school, old
Right.
technology. I don't know how efficient it is,
but it works.
but nobody wants to pay for it.
Right.
And Robbie's right.
Mhm.
And a lot of the water off Colorado goes into LA and stuff, goes right into California.
Yeah.
And of course, they're located on the water,
Mhm.
but they don't. But it's expensive to desal. It's not that expensive to pump it.
Yeah.
Well, it's cheaper to pump it, even though it's not free.
Right. But it's very expensive to desalinate water.
It's gotten so much cheaper. I looked at some of it that they're doing in Israel.
Mhm.
The price per acre foot is way down from what it used to be. It's not as
Yeah.
expensive as it was. They have an abundance of water in Israel, and they sell it to other countries, and it's all from desal. They
Yeah.
really don't have much of anything that comes in
Yeah.
through rainwater.
Yeah, and I think what's kind of going on here with the water is Arizona's basically saying it's like, okay, we all need to take our hit and, you know, and figure that out, but everybody's in this together. And states like California is like, oh no, you Arizona, you got to take the hit.
Right.
Yeah, we're not.
And that's the impasse that we get.
Yeah. And that's why we're at where we're at.
And the EPA in California is really tough on desal, because when you desal, you bring in seawater, you desalinate it, and you take all the salts and stuff, and then re-inject it back out into the ocean.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying, well, then injecting that back in the ocean is caustic, even though it came from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Wow. California is crazy about a lot of things, you know, and they let so something like 40% of their rainwater go back into the ocean because of that
Snail darter or something.
Yeah,
Some crazy thing.
Yeah. And yeah, well, it's crazy. And they haven't built a new basin for decades, I guess, to capture all the rainwater that they have from the rainy season. Yeah, it's crazy. California is so mismanaged. It's
Right.
just, you know,
That's why they burned down.
yeah, their basin was drained because they were going to do maintenance as they go into fire season and Santa Ana winds and all that stuff.
And then they lied about it. Said, no, there's plenty of water. No, it's empty. You
Yeah.
know, even
Open
Newsom
up-
said it was there. No, it's not.
Open up the fire hydrants and dust comes out.
Yeah, it's not good.
So-
And a lot of the fire trucks were near repair because they just didn't pay to have them maintenance on them.
because
I mean, there was one disaster after another,
Yeah.
and it's illegal to cut shrubbery back in some areas there.
yeah, and then their gas is through the roof and they want to close down the refineries.
Yeah.
So they're importing their gas instead of making it locally. What sense does that make? I mean, it's crazy.
Nothing does.
And of course, we get a lot of our gasoline from California, so our gas is going to go up if they're allowed to close. I think the last 2 refineries. I
Well, Trump has put a kibosh on that, and it's being fought in the courts. Newsom's nuts about, no, you can't do that. We're subject to spills. We could have a problem.
think, well, we should have built the refinery here many
We
years
should
ago.
have.
That was a huge mistake, and maybe it can be resurrected. I know.
I don't know. I've asked that question. I don't know who has the answers.
I know it was like 19 when I had another conversation about the pipeline. They were still trying to get the pipeline,
Yeah.
along the border, the route worked out for the refinery here, but that's the last I've heard of it.
The pipeline now that comes into Yuma or through Yuma out of California, there's companies right now looking to reverse that. In other words, instead of coming from California, it would be coming from Texas to California, because they're disassembling their refineries.
Okay.
And
I'm not aware of that pipeline. I know there's one that goes into Tucson, right? From
Apparently
Texas.
it goes through Yuma. I don't think it has a stop here, but it goes into Phoenix.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. And they're looking to reverse that, which would take some engineering and turn it around. I mean, basically get the pumps. And
So
stuff.
can we take all the sludge and put it into that pipe and ship it into California?
That
Then?
would be a great deal. Let's do that.
Let's do that. We'll add a little water to it so they get some water out of
Let's
it.
do that. But California's mismanaged because the voters are mismanaged.
Well, there's huge voter fraud.
Right.
Just like in my home state
That's
of
why
Minnesota.
they
it's
won't even turn the
horrible.
records over to the feds.
Yeah.
The feds want the records. They won't turn them over.
Right.
And they're fighting the SAVE Act all they can. We don't want you to look. We don't want to
Right.
follow regulations. We don't want integrity.
Yeah.
It would cause people not to vote. Yeah, most of the dead people wouldn't be able to vote then.
Well, I'm hoping they can get, because I had heard that they were working on a reconciliation bill where they could tie money into the SAVE Act.
Correct.
Prove it that way.
Correct.
And
I've heard that also. Whether or not that gets approved, I don't know. But Trump's adamant it needs to happen. In fact, he just did an executive order on it, which I don't know where that's going to go. But
I don't know.
Trump does a lot of executive orders just to get him into court.
Yeah. Well, same with birthright citizenship.
Yeah.
You know, it's common sense. I mean, you know, you just had a couple of hotels in California that were busted because all they're doing is, you know, baby making things for
tourism.
Yeah, China.
Yeah. Child tourism.
Yep.
And come when you're pregnant, have a baby that's got a U.S. citizenship, and then they can grow up be a spy for China.
Yep, exactly. And they have U.S. citizenship. So what are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly right. We're so ridiculously silly.
Yeah.
And the left doesn't want to have conversations about it.
Yeah.
You're just a racist or you're.
Yeah. And we're like the only country that allows that. I don't think any other country has
no one
birthright
does.
citizship.
It's
idiotic.
That's said all the time.
And that's what the Democrats have done to us. And they've just, I don't know what's happened to that party. They're just,
I don't think the Democrats know what's happened to the party, but
I don't think so.
There's still a lot of people that just hang on. Well, I've always been a Democrat. I've always been a Democrat.
Yeah. Well, we changed a lot of them in 23 and 24,
and it's still changing.
Yeah.
But it's not a flood. It's a constant stream, small stream, but it's constant. And the Democrats don't seem to notice.
Yeah. Well, you know, and all these issues that are like 80-20, I mean, the vast majority of Democrats support these issues like voter ID and all these other things going on. And the Democrats in office don't care.
No, because they're in unison except for Fetterman. There's the only one that, and then he didn't vote for it the last time.
Yeah. Well,
but he does. He says overall he wants, he's in favor of and supports.
He supports. What he said was he supports voter ID.
Yeah.
But there were some other caveats in there that he didn't like, and that's why he didn't vote for it. But he supports voter ID. But they did put a clean bill that was just voter ID,
and he didn't vote for that either.
Yeah, and they got shot down.
Yeah, they're liars, Greg.
Mm-hmm. They are,
because some of them have come forward. Well, if we did a clean one with just voter ID, of course I'd vote for it. But then they don't.
Yeah, and I voted for some Democrats in the past because they were great people. You know, the one that comes up to me is Ralph Ogden. Sheriff Ogden. But those, like the Harold Ford
that's
Jr.
a local Democrat.
Yeah. And Harold Ford Jr. and some of those things. I mean, I'm going to vote for Carol Smith. That's the one I'll give away this time because she's done a great job.
Right. And that's a technically nonpartisan, but be careful but when you vote to go to the legislature, particularly in Washington, Democrat and Republican, they're going to vote with the party.
Yeah. And, that's even happening in our state level. And that didn't used to happen, because I've a couple of times I've talked to Brian Fernandez about why did you vote against this? Why? I don't understand. And
he tells you the truth generally.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And I've had conversations with him about some of that, but I think he's under the impression everybody does it type attitude.
Yeah.
Like, get over it. It's what happens. Which is not, not honorable.
Well, more Republicans break from the unanimous votes than
now they do.
Democrats hardly ever.
Yeah. Except Fetterman. So that's why it's so noteworthy.
Yeah. Well, and there's been, I think there may be 3 or 4 in a couple of the bills that did vote on certain issues. They voted with the other party.
But that Rand Paul's a wild card. You never know. I like Rand though, but he does vote his conscience. But then Collins and Murkowski, they're just Democrats with a Republican name.
Yeah.
I don't get them, and they don't talk to the press very much about it. I mean, they run from the press like a Democrat does.
Right.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Rand Paul will talk all day.
He will.
He will, and he'll articulate his positioning and where he stands. He's a libertarian. We know it, and that's who he is. I respect that. I respect Fetterman.
Yeah, yeah. But I think with Rand Paul, though, the biggest thing is, if a bill is 99% great and there's 1% things that he has an issue with, he'll vote no.
It's who he is.
I know. And to me, I guess he's just got that thing where I'm not compromising on anything. But in order to get stuff done, you do have, have to work together.
I agree.
And
now if we had all Rand Pauls, we'd be in trouble.
Yeah, we would.
We could take one sometimes.
But you see it at our board of supervisors. You see it at
partisan
city council. And, rarely do you see it at the state level, but sometimes you do. But the federal level is something else.
No, there's great pressure. I mean, they got the whip of the parties. It's their job to get everybody in line.
Yeah.
So that's a constant barrage of we need you to support this. We need you to support this. And it's at a level like Nancy Pelosi really whipped the Democrats into it to where they feared her.
Yeah.
Because she could take away offices, she could take away assignments, she could take away all kinds of stuff. And apparently she was ruthless.
Yeah, she was. I walked past her in the hallway.
Yeah.
Man, and it's like one of those people when you walk by and you look at him, it's like, oh, that person's evil. I could just tell by the face that she's evil. I could tell.
I took a tour of the Capitol with Helen. I took Helen up there. So one of the senators or representatives, chief of staff, walked us around into some rooms I can't get into normally. And we went right face to face with Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
I was nothing but respectful though.
Yeah. Well, so we're at Reagan National Airport. I think I told the story before. We're at Reagan National Airport, and Nicole went into the bathroom. It's like, okay, and I was waiting for her. And all of a sudden, Maxine Waters walks into the bathroom. I'm going like, oh no.
Oh no. You can only hope that she doesn't, she can't stop herself. She's going to say something.
And that's why I love her. But
yeah, exactly. Anyway, where she stands.
Yeah. And then she came walking out of the bathroom. I go, you didn't see her? She goes, who? I go, Maxine Waters.
Did she go back in?
Around and go, yeah. I go, no, I go. She walked in right behind you.
I'm going to tell her.
Yeah. But that's, how does she get elected to office?
Because her constituents are just like her.
But she's not, she's not smart.
Mm-mm.
She's not smart.
No.
She barely knows what she's doing. And the only thing she just spews hate
and filth and that's stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
And how does she get elected to office? You contrast, I shouldn't do this, but you contrast, Maxine Waters with Mark Lamb.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my, you can't get such a big, honor and integrity.
But Mark Lamb wouldn't win anything in that district. He
Yeah.
wouldn't. And the Democrats have a strategy that, at least from what I see, is just to fearmonger and whip people into a frenzy and tell them that Trump is evil, Trump is this, Trump is that, and they do the same to the.
Well, and that's why they're so upset about this Democrat governor race in California, is because normally the Democrats anoint someone to run and nobody runs against them, and they're just a talk about no kings, a dictatorial party. You see that over and over and over again in the races, and the only ones where you see more than one Democrat running is when the Democrats know they have no chance of winning. They just don't care about the race.
But not in this race this time. They've got quite a few running on the Democrat side, and they're not happy about it.
Wasn't like 10 or 12?
Can't remember,
like that,
but yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, they were going to have a debate and they canceled it.
Yeah.
Which was interesting because they couldn't have everybody at the debate.
Yeah.
So it was limited by some metric that they came up with about popularity and poll numbers and all that kind of stuff. And when they eliminated people, it ended up being some black folk. And they said, well, it's racist.
Yeah.
So they canceled the debate. And the debate would have done more favors for the Republicans
Yeah.
because they do have the popular stance
Right. And-
on things.
Yeah, and 40% of California is conservative.
Right.
That's so
Even though we only have less than 10% of the
Yeah.
representatives.
a Republican governor in California could really turn that state around fast.
Right. Just like Trump turned some things around, like the border got
Yeah.
turned around, the law and order got turned around.
Yeah, you get that.
You can do those things. Now,
Either that sheriff or Steve Hilton, you get one of those two in there as
Yeah.
governor.
The
They
econ-
could turn that state in a second.
Yeah. but the economic hole is going to take years, just like it did in Arizona. After
Yeah.
Napolitano left, we were upside down, had to sell the Capitol building, all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
just to get. We literally sold the buildings
Mhm.
to somebody that leased it back from us until
Yeah.
we could buy it back.
Well, and that's the same thing with Hobbs. They gave her the budget for the administration that sold, and she spent like
hundreds of thousands more.
I think it was millions.
Like, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
there's no handcuffs. There's no.
Yeah.
Which
And the
is really
problem is
weird.
then the attorney general is Democrat
and
too,
refuses
so-
to do anything.
And I know they don't like each other, but it's still Democrat, and they're not going to do anything.
And well, she now has 40 lawsuits against Donald Trump. Did you know that?
Oh, well, I figured that. That's
where
like
money's
crazy.
going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I there's got to be something here where
Because you got to put
You know.
teams of lawyers on each one of those lawsuits,
yeah,
and we're paying the bill.
I know. And we have this convention of states going on, which they're trying to get a convention of states. I think we need something in Arizona. I think we
To-
need something in Arizona to mitigate some of this and have the citizens put some laws and statutes in place. And I know there's a process to do that,
Right.
but
Well,
I think, having a Arizona convention of counties or something like that.
we're a referendum state. We could put anything we want, which
Yeah.
is not favorable. I don't
Right.
like being a referendum state,
I don't like it either, but
which means we could change our constitution just but the voters get together and say, yeah, we're going to vote that this time. And then you can't fix it. You can't. A lot of laws that get passed, after they're passed, you realize like that's working out okay, but not this part of it or not that part. We need to tweak it. You can't tweak a referendum.
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Without going back to the voters.
Yeah, and the state legislatures tried to change that several
They
times
can't.
to give them some ability to mitigate the problems with it. And we have a couple things out there that are problems, and we need to figure out a way to be able to fix that.
I think, yes, I would, and it's been talked about, I think at some time that any referendum we should put in there that it sunsets in 10 years. So it would give legislators and all
Mhm.
a chance to make it permanent or not.
Right.
That failed.
Yeah.
It
Well,
didn't go through.
What about a convention of counties?
That would be interesting to get your fingers in and start redoing some constitutional issues.
Yeah, and to take on all the referendums that have been passed over the years that they have the
Would that work?
right to review. I think it could.
And how do I know? I mean, that could end up being partisan, Democrat partisan.
Well, it could be Republican partisan too, but
I don't know.
I think it could.
It could be that we need to put, they may get out there and say, okay, is there a chance to put DEI back in and to require that we have DEI throughout every business or something. And we could do something stupid and
Well-
destroy ourselves like California.
Yeah. Well, you could do have 15 countywide elections to elect 2 people countywide, and that should balance it out.
Should,
And
except
and-
Maricopa would only get 2 people.
it doesn't bother me.
They're not going to go for that.
And they cannot be an elected official.
Something I like that was recently in the newspaper as a recommendation for our legislatures to increase the number of legislators. Apparently, the House has had the same number of legislatures for many times. They're talking about taking every district and dividing it into 3 sections and having 3 separate. So have a legislature for each one of those 3 separate districts, one per each one. Not like right now, we have a district where you bring in 2 representatives for the House.
Mhm.
In one district. They're saying no, split it and make it aligned to where you're closer to the people that are voting for you. Which they're
That's
talking about
that's
doing it into
interesting.
3s though. Do 3 of them. So you would increase by 30 the number in the House. And the amount of voters that each person represents is like the second highest in the nation in our
Yeah.
House. And
Yeah.
so this would be, it would be back like when we first did it. I don't remember the numbers, but it was less than 100,000 voters per every representative.
Right.
Now we're like near 300,000 per representative.
That's an interesting idea. They'd have to figure out, they'd have to redo the chamber up there.
Yeah, they'd make the
But-
desks smaller. I mean, really, those desks are huge, but you could do that.
Yeah.
But then it would be offices would be the big thing. You'd have to build
Mhm.
to put offices in. There'd have to be an office.
They can put in a metal shed.
There you go. I don't disagree with that, and I think that
Yeah.
that would do something. Like right now, we're really fighting for Pena down in South County, and she's one of two, and she's fighting with Tucson base, which she has nothing to do with Tucson.
Right. Well, I like, I and tell me if I'm wrong, but I thought I remembered a time when each county had 2 senators and then a number of representatives, and the borders were the counties.
That's true. It used
Yeah.
to be,
and
and it was laws that were passed and things that were passed where had something to do with the amount of representation and all that kind of stuff that it couldn't work anymore. And I don't remember exactly why it was, but it was each one for each county. But
Yeah.
then you talk about real populous counties and all that.
right, they'd have more in the House,
But-
but not in the Senate.
Right.
Yeah.
But they said that they need to split it up according to number of voters and people.
Well,
And that was a
and-
federal.
Yeah, and you do that. You can do
Requirement.
that on the House side. I mean, Maricopa County would obviously have a ton of
Representatives.
but they'd only have
Which-
2 senators.
Well, right now they got both.
Yeah.
They got both.
And, and that's really what they've done when they did the redistricting. Is
Right.
Maricopa has a lot.
But if they did it by population and split 8 districts up
Mhm.
into 3s, because we have a majority of Republicans in the state, I don't care how they do it, we're going to end up with a better situation. And that's just for the
Probably.
House, not for the Senate. The Senate's going
Right.
to stay the same.
Yeah.
But for the House, that should help out a lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah. At first when I read it, I said, we don't need more legislatures. And I read the whole thing. I said, okay, I think we could do that. I think that would make sense to me. And I would like it a lot better, particularly when you get someone like Pena that's doing a great job, knowing that she's going to battle locally. We know her locally. They don't
Right.
know her in Tucson.
Right.
And she's got to drive to Tucson.
I know.
So-
Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
Yeah.
And it should be local. And that way she would represent
Right.
less than 200,000 people instead of nearly 300,000.
Yeah.
So I think it would be a welcome change for me. It would be more local representation.
Mhm.
And yet we end up with, and we've been very fortunate. We end up with a lot of people that live in Maricopa that represent us that have been excellent. I mean,
They
we've
have.
had some great people.
Carbone and Cupper have done
yeah,
a great job up
They
there.
really have, and the
Yeah.
ones before them did, and those guys represent us tremendously well. Even though we're a fraction of the population that
Right.
they are going on, they
Mhm.
do not turn their back on us. But that's not a guarantee.
Right.
You split this up, and then we'd get a guarantee of having a local,
Mhm.
more a guarantee of having local.
Just off the top, seems like a pretty good idea. But
It does. I can't find any negatives on it, but someone's going to find one.
Yeah. Yeah.
They say what's going to be more expensive. The amount of it's going to cost some millions of dollars, a few $1 million to build a building, and and the pay's not that much. It's not about the pay.
24,000 a year.
Yeah, it's not that. And then
Yeah.
secretaries and everything on top. It's not a huge amount of money in terms of our budget and everything.
I think they either get one or 2 people that work for them.
depending on the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes they share a secretary.
Yeah.
But if you start getting into leadership, you're going to get a couple
Mhm.
staff
Yeah, that
members.
makes
and stuff.
sense. Yeah. Staff members. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get that, and then they all share the think tank and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh man, we got George Braun. Do you want to talk to him?
Sure.
Hey, George. Good morning.
Hey, morning.
Hey, George.
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing, guys?
We're doing well, sir.
Happy Good Friday, and Passover's going on, and
That's right. I
all
forgot
that
to mention
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
And today is the worst day to be Monday is the worst day to be chief counsel for the White House, head counsel for the White House is Monday, and it's supposed to be 90 degrees here. So the poor chief counsel is going to have to put on the Mr. Bunny outfit.
Really? Now they don't
The
follow.
head lawyer has to be Mr. Bunny, and it is, and they actually tell you have to take off all your clothes because of the fact there's no other way to do it, and then they just Febreze the hell out of this thing. But it's got to smell like hell by about halfway through the afternoon.
Oh wow!
They can't put a small portable air conditioner in there like they do NASCAR drivers or something. Yeah,
I have no idea. It's just like it's just an old bunny outfit, and it's the biggest con in the entire world to go through it. But I just got to notice that I was hoping for it. That my order of the wooden eggs is coming in today.
good.
Okay.
So for the Easter egg roll, but that was Nancy Reagan's thing when she first came in 1981 as first lady. She went through all the letters that had come to the first lady, and overwhelmingly, like by 100 to 1, the letters were from parents that after their child had gone off to college or gotten married, 18, 20 years later, that 15, 16 years later, that when they cleaned out their room, they found that hard-boiled egg that they'd squirreled away from the Easter egg roll.
Yeah, that's nasty.
And if you saw the old Charlotte's Web with Templeton the rat, and they found the egg, you do not want to find an egg that has been squirreled away for all those years. I mean, that you just have to burn that part of the house down. And so one of the things that comes out of it, which is really, really funny, is that Nancy Reagan came up with the idea that the eggs would be made wooden and have the signature of the first lady and the president.
Well, they're also using real eggs, aren't they? They did last year.
They did last year because the egg board was involved in it, and then they realized it was a bad idea.
Okay.
Because the egg board wanted to come out and say that, but they were actually they would have people at the exits so that when they were walking out, the kids were basically said you can have, if you give us the real eggs, we'll give you the wooden egg to take home.
Yeah.
But in 2020, it was funny because a buddy of mine who was working for the administration and the legal, in the office of the chief legal for the White House, I ran into him at Safeway, and it was right after they canceled the Easter egg roll.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a whole trunk full of the wooden eggs. And he just, I went inside and grabbed a big old bag and took as many as I could carry, to give away. And everybody got,
oh, you do share them. I know you collect and share. I like that.
Well, George,
I gave a gob of eggs to one little girl she's the first person that grabs the eggs every year. So,
well, George, if you get some wooden eggs with Trump and Melania's signature on them, if you donate them to us, we'll use them as fundraisers for the next Republican Party auction. They would go big.
I've got an extra slide of them. So, I was going to order some more. Do you want a slide of them?
We do.
Trump and Melania? Yeah, for sure.
We'll do that.
Okay. Well, you can order it online. All you have to do is go to the White House Historical Association.
No, you don't understand. We wanted you to pay for it, George.
Oh, okay. And donate it for the thing?
Oh, yeah. We got a donation from Edward on this last Lincoln Day dinner.
Did you really?
Yeah, he donated a bottle of whiskey from Mount Vernon, But also another prize was he
Was
would
it the brown or the white?
brown, no, the white, the original. I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, he donated lunch or I'm sorry, dinner with Edward for as many as 4 people. I sold it for $1,500.
Yeah, Barry Todd bought it, right?
No,
No.
Melissa, a girl out of
Oh,
Phoenix.
Okay.
Marissa. I'm sorry, Marissa.
Marissa. Okay.
Yeah, I bought it, and she's already been up there and done it.
Oh, yeah.
She thought it was wonderful. No, Barry Todd.
I'm sure.
Just went up there for.
Edward.
Where's the dinner at?
I think
in
they ended up
Washington?
going to Morton's. Yeah,
Oh,
they had to
oh,
fly to
okay.
Morton's to go have dinner with Edward, and I sold it for
Well,
$1,500.
I mean, the Morton's in Phoenix, or are they going to go all the way up here?
They've already done it. They did it in D.C.
Oh, they did it in D.C.
She
The
went
one
to.
on Connecticut?
I think it was in Crystal City. Yeah,
Oh, okay, the one that's across. Okay.
yeah, but
'Cause he has 2 haunts. The one on Connecticut where you can still smoke cigars,
yeah,
and
I think that's where he took
and
Barry
the,
Todd. Yeah,
and then the other one is on Crystal City over there, which is in a mall that I think that's the last thing in the mall besides the party place. That's about it. And it's really kind of sad. It was a real fun mall. All those malls around the Pentagon, over in Crystal City before Amazon came in, were really neat little malls you could get. And I mean, nobody could make, because they had all the guys that had to go over to the, Pentagon or to the whatever you were doing. But, the thing is that where the guys that were the boot blacks,
Mhm.
Get your shoe shined, man, those guys, the spit shine you got off of that. I mean, the term mirrors doesn't even come close to what these guys could make it to where you could pass, whatever the inspection was. I mean, perfect.
but it's all gone now.
Absolutely perfect shine. On the worst shoes you could possibly have, they could turn them in perfectly and whatever. Unbelievable.
No.
But all that's gone.
Well,
And so
Madison.
I think the only thing that's left there is the Morton's and the post
Well,
office.
they're probably doing well. But Madison was confused about the whole thing. She wanted to know, why did Edward pay $1,500 to have dinner? He had to explain to her they paid him $1,500.
No, they paid the $1,500 to the
yes,
wasn't it charity?
yeah, it was
Party.
for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
They paid $1,500 to have dinner with her dad, and she's very confused. Like, why would anyone do that?
and then he pays for the dinner.
He paid for the
He
dinner.
actually pays for the actual dinner that
He
you
did.
have.
He did.
And so, well, the biggest thing is that he's got an incredible, as you know, wine closet.
Oh yeah,
There.
I've seen it.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
Have to keep Nicole away
know,
from that.
yeah. Keep Nicole away.
I'm on that diet and exercise and full on, watching calories and everything else now so that I can go have that surgery that you had.
Yeah.
And I met with my doctor the other day, but I'm not that big of a wine guy anyway, but it was, now I'm no alcohol whatsoever.
Good
I've been
for
already
you.
told that.
Good for you.
Well, also the alcohol, the arrhythmia
Yeah,
stopped, or whatever
Oh really?
AFib stopped immediately. But anyway, the thing is that they got me jumping rope. And rowing and a couple
Double
of
Dutch?
things.
Street. Yeah.
I actually can do that, and I
Oh,
remember
my
the
God.
songs.
I want video,
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
Don't give me that crap.
We had when I was in fourth grade, we had a guy teacher, Mr. Smith,
Yeah.
who was 6'6" and former boxer. And one of the things was he came in and he goes, "Why don't any of the guys, you guys jump rope?" And they said, "Well, that's a girl thing." And then he showed us how a boxer does.
George,
You know,
that was half a century ago. I don't think you remember.
Well, he would spin. I mean, he was spinning that rope like there was no tomorrow. And then everybody thought, so they had to go and buy more ropes because of the fact that all of a sudden the guys were doing jump rope too. And but he could kick a ball so high that you couldn't catch it. You had to let it bounce at least once before you tried for it. And then I had him again he also did, speaking of eggs, he did the egg challenge where you had, you were given a thing where he would stand on the roof at Sycamore Elementary School and then throw whatever your contraption that had an egg in it off the roof.
Right.
And then you had to run down and open it up and find if your egg could survive.
Yeah. Engineering projects, see if you could build a cradle for it
And
that would
so
survive.
it was really, really fun. Mine was, I took a big giant piece of foam rubber and just cut a hole in them, cut a slice in it, and then just pushed it in there and put a piece of tape across it.
That's because you
So
cheated.
when he threw it, it kind of floated down. I got the A.
Yeah, I know.
You either got an A or a C. If it broke, you got a C. If it didn't break, you got an A.
Got to run, man.
Hey, everybody, have a great
See you.
Easter weekend.
Yeah.
All the best.
You
Thanks
too,
for the call.
George.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
George, nice of him to call.
Yeah.
One of my listeners is saying that they're calling Hegseth dumb McNamara, from
What?
Vietnam era.
McNamara's 100,000 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
No.
At the Pentagon. But yeah, they're probably somebody that did, some of the DEI hires, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. And since we talked about Hegseth so much, there has been some pushback because of his credentialing. He's not a general. He was a major when he was in the military. And
Well,
so
that's better.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a civilian position anyway.
And see, that's why I can't remember how many years ago he got out, but he's still in touch with a lot of the people that he knows. He knows who's good and who's not in the Army.
He was on the Fox News for like 10 years or something. So
yeah, but he's still at that point where he probably knows some of the good people, the bad people, and what's really going on because he's still in touch. He's not too old where he's still in touch with them.
But a lot of the left was upset. Well, he's only a major. We're looking for generals, and which is a more of a political position, I think, is the way it's been described to me at times.
Yeah.
But I like the fact they put a guy that's working class up there.
Yeah, I think it works. It's kind of funny because, I retired, and one of my OPSOs when I was on one of the MUs, and they were called MAUs, Marine Amphibious Units, or Marine Expeditionary. But my OPSO that I worked for, actually, when I was a first lieutenant, went on to be commandant after I retired, to General Conway, and I'm sure that the same thing with Hegseth. A lot of the people that he worked with and went into combat with, so he knows who is good, and he knows who he trusts. Well, and he's not going to know all of these people, but he's going to know people that know them, and he will be able to get good people and
he knows the military culture.
Yes, he does, and he's still in good enough shape that he can work out with them. And
he runs with them.
Yeah, exactly. That means a lot rather than some of these fat people they've had in the past.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And he said there's going to be a discipline on working out, even if you're a fat general,
Yeah. And
I imagine some of them left after that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And see, I just tell you, I couldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about it, Craig.
I know. I don't. Once you get past 65, you're
in good shape.
Recalled.
You're not getting recalled.
Senator Kelly could be recalled, though.
Yeah, it'd be nice if
not
they did
65
that.
yet. Yeah, no, it wouldn't be good.
And I just want to mention Iran a little bit. And you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
And now it's 33 days, 34 days or something. the bombing is going on. It hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
And the promise from Trump on the ceasefire is just for power stations and stuff, and not to knock out the power, which would be a whole big deal. I mean, you knock out all the electricity. They've got some mega power plants. If they knocked down, they would shut down. The capital would be shut down. They wouldn't have any power.
And I'm sure that's what they would go after, the power plants that power Tehran.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where the head of the snake is.
Well, and he warned them, and then just to show that he was serious, he took out the biggest bridge in
that's what I was going to
Iran.
mention. That just
Yeah.
they just finished that earlier this year. They just had they inaugurated it first this year. Apparently, it was a highway bridge. It was a link between the capital and another city that allowed a lot of intel, a lot of stuff to go back and forth for the military.
Well, they should still have the plans then, so they can.
They got the
rebuild
plans.
it. Of course.
Well, they said they're already starting to build it. Who knows?
I doubt it.
It took them a while to build it. It'll take them a while to fix it.
It's much harder to fix it than build it in the first place.
Because you got to move the rubble first.
Yeah.
Because it was the tallest bridge apparently in that area.
Yeah.
And it collapsed. I mean, you saw the pictures. I mean,
well, and plus then you got to go in and more than likely you might have to dig out the pylons and redo them.
They're damaged, so you can't use them anymore.
Yeah. So the pylons that they drive way into the ground to support the bridge have to be taken out and redo them.
Or you put new ones next to it or something.
Yeah.
Something's going to have to be engineered and changed.
Yeah.
That's not going to be quick.
No.
They're promising retaliation. I mean, the Iranians are saying, look, you've got bridges in Europe and bridges other places that the United States uses and stuff, and we're going to take those out in retaliation. They also talk about the possibility, and I haven't heard the Iran say it so much, but that there might be some terrorist type organizations in the United States that might be activated. I mean, they've cautioned that before.
Well, they've talked about that forever, and unfortunately, Biden put us in a very, very precarious.
Well, the open borders, free for all. Anybody could have got in.
Yeah. So, could it happen? I think everybody's on alert for that and watching for that, and that's why a constitutional carry is so important.
It didn't take many people to do the airplane attacks.
Right.
I can't believe how long ago that was. Like 2001, was it?
Yeah. At the same time, the Democrats decide not to fund TSA.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a stroke of genius, huh?
Yeah. Although, according to poll numbers, now Republicans are getting equal blame or just slightly more blame than the Democrats on that.
Yeah, but I don't know if polls have always been slanted towards the Democrats, and everybody's upset and everybody wants them to come together, but the polls have always been slanted positively towards the Democrats.
Do you think Trump did a good move to find a way to pay him?
Yeah, I do.
I
think that was great. So
I think it's
whether that's legal or not,
I don't know.
But I want to see the Democrat that's going to challenge that.
They have to.
Yeah,
they will. You think
if they challenge that whoever's behind that, I mean,
I think it was a brilliant move to put ICE in there too. It upped their image a lot.
Oh yeah, and they're significantly. I heard the lines like in Minnesota went from like couple hours down to like 5 minutes. And I saw Atlanta is like nothing.
There were people concerned about it on the left that said, well, the ICE agents, then that's going to knock down travel. People won't want to travel.
Yeah.
Well, illegal Somalians, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and then they go, oh, somebody's going to be shot. It's like,
they said killed.
Yeah.
Like they do. That's what ICE does. They kill people.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous stuff being said. And it ends up, there's pictures of ICE agents saving a little child who wasn't breathing.
Right. Yeah. Did the Heimlich maneuver on her?
Yeah. They didn't like that one.
No.
The left, they didn't like publishing that. But
anything that's positive towards Trump, they hate.
Been very positive.
And it's coming out more and more and more that they're just anything that Trump's for, they're against. And even if Trump's for something that's positive for the country, they're going to be against it.
Oh, even if it's something they were definitely for 4 years ago, they're against it now.
Well, and I just read something where Harry Reid introduced a bill to end birthright citizenship.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Harry Reid introduced that. And I think it's back in the 80s, something like that.
Well,
Anyway,
Trump went to the Supreme Court yesterday as a first.
yes,
That he went to the
saw
Supreme Court to watch some of the argument. He didn't stay long, and he left.
Well, I think he was pissed off.
Somebody said he was. I don't know what he was pissed off
I don't know.
about somebody's testimony. I don't know, but
Yeah, but it's
but he left, and the one of the Democrat legislators in the House said that he went over there to intimidate the Supreme Court, and they're going to bring him up on impeachment charges on that. That's one of the 40 that they got, or 42 that they're going to bring up, is that he intimidated the Supreme Court. Do you really think you intimidate those guys? I don't think so.
I don't think he intimidated. I believe Trump went over there because he was trying to make the statement that this is really important for our country.
And I think the press followed it, and the press printed it, and that's what he wanted.
When the president shows up, there's something going on that's important.
It's important.
And it's not really important to him, but it's important to the country,
Yeah.
And I guess that makes it important to him too. I guess I'd have to say it hits both of those.
What do you think about Markwayne Mullin, that just took over for Kristi Noem?
I think it's going to be good, first of all, with some of the stuff that's happened with Kristi Noem, and the way ICE handled some things and stuff, which I don't necessarily disagree with, but it could have been done better. But now with the stuff with her husband that's come out,
That's weird.
It was a good move that got her out of there before this all hit.
Apparently, pictures of him wearing prosthetic breast or something. He likes to dress like women. And
I saw those. It was.
Whatever they do on his own, his time is his business. But that can't be helpful for her.
Maybe he'll bark like a dog, and then Kristi can take care of him.
That wasn't helpful either.
No.
Speaking of help, that wasn't any good.
Yeah, but no, I think Markwayne Mullin, I think, is going to be really good. People were slamming him because he didn't have a college degree. Well, he left college because his family needed him.
Yeah.
And so he gave up his.
Charlie Kirk didn't have it, and he was so effective they murdered him.
Yeah, and and he brought it. I heard at the end he went from, I don't know, like 7 employees to 150 employees in a plumbing, and then he went into HVAC and all that kind of stuff, and tremendously grew the business. So he's a tremendously successful businessman
and an MMA guy.
MMA fighter. Yeah, there's like 7-0 or something like that MMA, and so he's got the grit and the stamina to take it on.
He can take a punch.
Yeah, and I think when you do martial arts and stuff like that, I think it helps you to withstand stress and all those types of things. So you keep a level keel because he's had that competition.
Of course, he's noted for asking somebody who was disagreeing with on the floor, well, I'll meet you out back or something.
Yeah, and he's from Oklahoma, and like, is he the only Native American or something?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and because Oklahoma's a huge Indian population there, which is, I think it's great. Diversity is what is when you use diversity right, it's good. But if you're using the DEI, then it's different. But
I kind of like the guy. I don't know about challenging people to take it out back. It sounds pretty Biden-esque. Biden did that. Take him out to the woodshed.
Yeah. Well, some of these people need to be taken out back. I would support that.
I would not be afraid to go out with Biden.
Yeah.
He'd forget why we're out back.
Yeah, that's right. Or you just blow hard and he'd fall over.
I think Markwayne would hurt you.
Yes, I think so.
I think he's not one. He wants to make some changes. He's already made some recommendation, or some changes are already happening.
Yeah.
But Kristi Noem was a micromanager, and any contract that exceeded $100,000 had to go through her, which slowed the process down.
Yeah.
Apparently a lot of things weren't getting done. And I was unaware of that. I didn't know anything about that.
And I know
read this.
Yeah. Kristi did a whole lot of good things.
I think so.
But I think Trump made the right call, and I think it was time for a change.
A lot of things were modified under Tom Homan as he went into Minneapolis and stuff too.
Yeah.
Tried to soften it a little bit.
And sometimes when you take over an organization that's, and let's face it, DHS was on the rocks during Biden administration.
Oh my! It was underfunded. ICE was like a skeleton.
They
crew.
had these screwed up rules and regulations. So micromanaging it for a short period of time might have been necessary, you know, because Trump's had to do a lot of those things in DC and then he finally got himself surrounded by a cabinet that's really amazing.
Well,
and now he doesn't have to do that anymore.
Trump did not throw her under the table. You know, he thanked her for her service and they found a place for her.
Yep.
You know, she's doing something. I don't know. But now under Mark Wayne, it's going to be 25 million will be approved by the leaders of the organizations, you know, in their own compartmentalized area.
25 million.
Before
for a contract.
They can approve a $25 million contract up to.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference from 100,000.
Well, and that's there's a difference between good leaders and great leaders. Great leaders get themselves surrounded by really good people and then let them do their job and support them and stay out of their way and just give them little guidance here and there as needed. That's what great leaders do.
And he's attacking it right now, and he hasn't been approved by Congress yet, but they're already talking about plans and where it's going and all that. I don't know. He's still a representative. Or is he
I thought he was approved. Didn't Fetterman?
Oh no, he did. He got confirmation.
Was that?
He got
the
confirmed.
committee.
He did.
Or was that
he got confirmed.
Okay, all right.
So he's already in.
Fetterman and one or two more Democrats voted for him, I believe. If I remember right.
There's something about ICE that was mentioned here now. When ICE first started under Kristi Noem and Trump, you know, they went right into the hot spots, which I kind of like, oh my gosh, why? Why wouldn't you go in and get cooperation first and all that? I said, okay, I understand. And you're going into the hot spots, so you're not going to take it from anybody and you're going to help those people no matter what.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a disaster. Because, I mean, bad press wise, bad press wise, it was not good because it gave a platform for the Dems to resist and just be jerks and hire all these people to come in and be professional, you know, guys to stand in the way and two people died because of all that nonsense. And,
well, to me, they died because of their own actions.
Well, that's what I mean, the nonsense, and all this.
But I think, you know, with Mark Wayne in there now, you know, and Tom Homan obviously went in and cleaned that up. And
they reduced him. I mean, they got cooperation. The big thing was getting cooperation from the governor and the mayor to where the police would actually take care of the problems. They're not working with them, but they're not going to let the protests go unabated. They're going to go in and arrest people.
And when they're releasing the criminals to them too.
Right, they are.
And that's something that didn't happen in the past. Now, maybe without ICE going in there heavy-handed beforehand, maybe this releasing the criminals stuff wouldn't have happened. I don't know. But Tom Homan came in there and saw the situation and I think, got it going.
And I think Tom Homan carries a presence of no nonsense too. I mean, they're not going to screw with him.
Right.
And they didn't, and they cooperated. And he sent home all the Border Patrol guys that were protecting ICE because he didn't need them anymore. He said, if you do this, then we'll send all these guys home, make your place safer. And if you really want safer, then get your police officers, and police started making arrests.
Yeah. And
you know, if you're breaking the law, you're going to get arrested. And before that, you break the law, we don't care if it's against ICE.
Yeah. But it is interesting that you haven't, you know, this is going on all over the country and you haven't heard about it anywhere except Minnesota, even California. And
you're not hearing it.
Yeah.
And so it was a definite attack on ICE in Minnesota. It was an attack on ICE, but that's not the way it's portrayed on the news. ICE was out of control and they're going to kill people.
Right. And most of those people were paid. I mean, that's pretty much a fact now that these protesters around here are paid, you know, Code Pink through through China
and Antifa and all that stuff. They're getting money through China and all that, and George Soros.
And that's no longer up for debate. I mean, that's pretty much proven.
Yeah, these are communist supported type.
Well, in this No Kings protest that they had, they were actually flying communist flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gaza and gay. I mean, I like it.
It's so funny.
I know, they're flying all kinds of stuff. And gosh, the Republican commentator on CNN, forget his name, but he was talking about, it was a very diverse crowd at the Kings, diverse because they had communists, they had gays,
Yeah.
Gaza, all kinds of
That's-
stuff.
That was funny when watching the gay flags fly for pro-Palestine, where
Yeah.
if you were gay and with them, they would
Throw
throw
you
you
off-
off the top of a
you're-
building.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're
It's
done.
like, what are you doing?
But Mark Mullen is of the opinion too that they want to improve the image of ICE, and they're going into Republican. They have been under Tom Homan. Even they were pushing to go into more Republican states.
Yeah.
where they're getting much bigger numbers, but
Yeah.
no bad press.
Right.
And
Well,
they're-
they cleaned up Memphis, and Memphis was a hotbed of crime, and
was it-
you've hardly. So one of the things that I'm watching is, as they're taking these illegals off the streets, that the murder rates are at like 100-year lows.
yeah.
So is that telling me that the majority of crime in the United States has been being done by illegals?
Quite possibly, or because there's now a presence, and even the citizens are less likely, particularly in D.C.
Yeah.
Citizens like that. It's a combination, and Trump gives a lot of it to Pam Bondi too. That this it was under her watch.
Yeah, she did a great job too. And I
Oh.
know she's leaving for the civilian sector now, but yeah, she did a great job.
Yeah, and
So
yeah,
I am cheering for Janine Pirro
Are
to
you?
take over.
that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
funny.
Oh yes.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I
I don't
love
think
listening to her. She is like no nonsense. I listened to her on the 5, and I loved her comments. Her and Gutfeld, but and I actually liked Harold Ford Jr. on
I
there
do too.
because
he's got honesty going.
common sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I've listened to how fast she went in and helped clean up DC. So she has a proven record. So
And
that's my pick.
you don't want to lie about her or lie. She just gets vile,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she'll just call it like it is and
Yep.
go on air. And she calls out a lot of those activist judges,
Yes, she does.
that it just needs to stop.
So
And DC is actually safe now.
yeah. And and a lot of people are talking about Lee Zeldin.
Yeah,
Lee Zeldin has done an amazing job at EPA.
needs
but-
to stay.
Yeah, but this may be one of those things. It's like it's going so good. Maybe you don't want to
Yeah.
break it
I mean,
unless you know how to fix it. So
Zeldin's going to be awesome wherever he is. I like it.
yeah. So that would be, if President Trump asked me for advice, I would say keep Lee Zeldin where he's at, because he's doing such an amazing job.
And he's on a roll.
Yeah, he's on a roll. And then put Janine Pirro in there, because she's demonstrated what she can do, what she's been doing around DC.
I don't know if they'd confirm her. They'd probably do everything they can to stop that. She's
Well,
so
they can't-
no nonsense.
Yeah, but they can't, with the Republican majority in the
Yeah.
Senate, they can't stop her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And as long as we get all Republicans,
I think
I
they
don't
would.
know if she's got a bad image with any Republican. I don't know.
No, she's just plain spoken. I think maybe even Rand Paul would vote for her.
Yeah.
After, because look, it's like she's gone in, and that's the place where they live, and they have to put up with it. And Rand Paul, obviously was attacked on
He
the
broke
streets.
ribs.
Yeah, broke ribs and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Him and Mullen don't get along, because Mullen
I
said
know.
you probably had it coming
yeah,
with the
but,
neighbor.
Janine Pirro's like, yeah, we took care of those bums that
Yeah.
mugged you. So I think even Rand Paul would vote for her.
Rand Paul tried to stop the Mullen. He was the only one that voted against him.
Yeah, I know.
When he had a personal grudge.
Yeah.
I mean, he got beat up, and I think it was the neighbor after his neighbor beat him up.
Mhm.
Mullen said, yeah, I could see why that would happen. And he never apologized for it.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't have done that to Rand Paul.
No, I wouldn't. And I think if Mark Wayne Mullen
Yeah.
had to do over, he would probably not make the same statement. But then again,
You don't know.
yeah,
I think Mark Wayne Mullen's his own man. He's going to do what he does.
Yeah.
But he handles himself well, because he's been before a lot of hearings.
Yeah.
And has handled himself tremendously well. And he's been attacked.
yeah.
But he's
Well,
like, no, Janine, you don't want to attack
Yeah.
Janine. She has her notes together, and she's
right.
going to push back hard. So is
Yeah.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah, and he was one of the Senate hearings. I watched him with some lady, blonde hair. I don't remember what office she was at, but he was just like, okay, so you're not telling the truth. He goes, come on now. You have to be honest. He goes, you knew this. You were aware of this and you did this. Oh, no. He goes, come on. You were, so just his this level-headed demeanor and stuff. I think he's going to be extremely successful.
Yeah. He's a straightforward guy. He's not like a John Kennedy who's hilarious.
Yeah. He is hilarious.
He gets his point across.
Yes, he does.
Without question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could use more like Kennedy. I get the popcorn out.
See, get Kennedy on this, and you'd have very popular.
He talks too slow, man. We need Mullen. We need Mullen on it. He's going to attack it.
There you go.
Head on.
I'll get George to see if we can get Mullen on the radio show. Call it.
I'd like that.
Yeah, that would be good. Well, Rand Paul would be good too. Any of them would be good, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'm not really reaching out a lot yet until we get the signal.
Yeah. Well, then you get since you're not on the air,
right,
regulated by the FCC, you could get like Andy Biggs and all those people to call in or be. Andy Biggs is going to be here in May, so you get him on the radio.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have to conform to those laws,
FCC regulations,
which I always offered Democrats to come on.
Yeah,
they just don't. Brian's come on before, because he's okay, but other than that, they avoid me like the plague, man.
Yeah,
they're not going to come on. Trump has put 100% tariff on some brand name drug imports. First I heard about it, I didn't know he was doing this, but he proclaimed that certain imported patented pharmaceuticals and related ingredients could face up to 100% tariffs.
Really? Which ones?
He doesn't give a list here. Okay. I don't have it in front of me, but he says there's going to be a tiered system for drug makers. For companies with Commerce Department approved plans to onshore production could face 20% tariffs instead if you're making them here.
Right.
He wants to bring it back, and he's putting it under safety protocols and just for the for the U.S. security deal, because our drugs being made offshore is a security risk.
It's a problem. As we saw during the pandemic and all that kind of stuff, when our drugs and the chemicals and stuff were coming from China, it was like a real problem. And in fact, there's even some shortages now. There's like a progesterone shortage and some of those other things.
But I don't know what happens with this 100% tariff. I mean, that is going to affect the price. It's got to. Now he's got this TrumpRx.gov platform, which is very similar to other type programs like that. And I've done some price checking, and it seems to be pretty much in line. That was already available.
With there, okay.
And the one that and Hobbs did the same things. Hobbs did an Arizona one, and I guess there's hundreds of these things. After the Good RX that came up, there's been tons of copycats, including Arizona's got one now. Trump has one, and I want to keep my eye on the Trump, and I would imagine it's going to get the most opportunities. I would think. So far I haven't seen it, and I've checked a few things that they just didn't have available yet.
Yeah. There's only a couple things that I have, but I have my TRICARE,
and I have Medicaid insurance that's going to cover it, so I don't really have a need for the Trump RX program. I like to check it, to see what it is. And I don't take that much. I mean, there's a few things now because of the heart thing. I have to take a blood thinner. But it says about 53% of patented pharmaceutical products distributed in the U.S. are produced abroad. I thought it was more than 53%, but
I did too.
Apparently it's 53%.
Yeah.
Only 15% of patented active pharmaceutical ingredients, though, are local. It's the ingredients that we get.
Yeah.
Are overseas, coming from overseas. So they're going to face 100%. And it doesn't go into effect yet. It's going to be, I think, the end of this month.
That is one of those things that definitely needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
With AI, we need to support all those data centers and all that kind of stuff, because we need to run that show. Because if you've played with Chat GPT or anything, those things are powerful. The last thing we want is China to be able to control the information that goes into those. I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical about anybody controlling it, but not China. And that's why we need those data centers in the US to support AI here. And, you know, our community needs to support it just like everybody else.
Yes. And Musk asked for controls, which he was denied. He said he said we should do a 6-month freeze because he's worried about it, and he makes it.
Yeah.
And that never happened. So he continued on, but the rationale of not doing it is why we're on a 6-month freeze, China's not.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
Yes.
And this AI has made a big difference in this Iran thing. From what I've been watching and reading, the coordination of all these bombing events and everything, AI is a tremendous tool.
Yes, it is.
Something was interesting on, when an airplane takes off with the bombs loaded and everything, they have a mission. They know exactly where they're going, exactly what they're going to do and all that. And those things don't get changed doesn't happen.
Right.
Well, it does now. I mean, I've heard like as much as 200 in a single day will be reassigned,
rerouted
based on current information from the time you took off till you got, out of sight.
Flying towards the target, and AI goes, "Oh, it's not there. It's over here now."
Right. Or we have a higher priority target nearby.
Right.
And that gets sorted out with the assistance of AI. Obviously, there's people using it as a tool.
Feed all the satellite imaging into it, and it can, and the AI then helps additionally to identify it besides the human eyes on the satellites. And you can reroute. And those B-52s flying in carry a lot of guided munitions, so they can take out many targets on a single flight.
Right. You put in the keyword as guided, and they're dumb bombs with the guidance strapped to them, a lot of it.
Right.
But they land within, a few yards of where it's designated. And in World War II, when we drop bombs, sometimes they just bomb farmer fields.
Yeah.
Carpet
bombing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we didn't have the ability, we didn't have the information, we didn't have the intelligence that we do. Not only do we have the intelligence now, we got AI to help sort it on the fly. So that we can alert and do that immediately. It's just amazing.
Yeah, even in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the B-52s at that time, and that's only, I guess it's 20 years ago. Yeah. They were, B-52s were carpet bombing the Republican Guard. They just carpet bombed them. And, a B-52 can carry a lot of 250-pound bombs. Called arc light strike and stuff like that. And now I watch them fly out, and they have the wing pod where they attach a lot of the guided ordnance.
Yeah, they don't try to be stealth.
No, they don't have to be.
No, because
we own the skies.
Yeah, which we own the skies more now than we ever did in Iraq, even.
Yeah,
this air supremacy, they call that. That's a different level.
Yeah, there's air superiority, which means you own the skies mostly, and you kind of control them, but there's supremacy. Then basically you're unmatched, or whatever the right term is. There's nothing out there for you, and so they're mainly the aircraft are staying above the man pads, the man shoulder portable air defense system.
Not all of them. We got helicopters and A-10s out there buzzing.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Well, and the A-10s were built, and we've kept those things around. Thank God Congress has done that against Air Force wishes.
They've been trying to kill it so long. It was McCain that saved it the last time.
Yes, I remember that. I remember when he did that. And there's only 103 of them left, but they have a titanium steel bathtub that the pilot sits on.
Yeah.
And I saw some of those. I saw one of the A-10s come back from a mission. It had one engine was out, and 3/4 of one of the wings was gone, and it flew home and landed.
Yeah, and probably the bathtub all dinged up.
Yeah. Yep. And it flew home and landed. And it was, in fact, we were talking to one of the pilots who was getting back, and in the debate about whether he's going to bail out or take it back, he goes, "Oh, I think I can get it back." And they flew it all the way back.
And they built that plane knowing it was going to get shot up.
Yeah.
It has a lot of redundant systems and all that stuff you may shut out this system, but I got another backup and
Yeah,
stuff.
but-
they got,
But most man-portable air defense systems can only go to like about 10,000 feet and stuff like that. So
Shoot,
if you
these-
stay above
these
20,000,
these
you're golden.
A10s are buzzing lower than that. At least some
they
some
are.
I've seen. They feel pretty confident they own it, and I'm sure they've
Yeah.
got protection above. They've got some jamming devices and other above them, probably at that 15s.
They do. They have, yes.
They've got protection. Yeah, they can't do a air-to-air combat.
Well,
They not successfully.
it depends. Well, they're using them to shoot down some of the drones and the
Right.
helicopters and stuff like that
Right.
to fly slow. But
Right. But if they came along a modern aircraft to take them out, they wouldn't have a chance.
probably the thing is, though, the A-10s can turn like on a dime. I mean, they can turn, and they can carry some air-to-air weapons, but they're mainly for that close air support. The gun system is just
They
amazing.
probably got some F-22s flying overhead.
And that's so the F-22s and the F-35s really are also intelligence platforms. They
Right.
pick stuff up and they can give you targeting information. And with their interplane links, they can actually link that targeting data from one airplane to another. So yeah, it can be very effective when you
And they're-
link all the sensors
They're
together.
probably looking for bad guys coming to get the A-10s or coming to get if there was one. I don't think they have any aircraft left, do
I
If
No.
they do, they're well hidden.
they're not going to take off, because that's airplane takes off. That gives off a pretty good signature. They hit those afterburners or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have any stealth really, or never did. In
No,
fact, they were flying Vietnam era.
I think I saw. Did I see an F-14 in one of the things? And obviously the MiG-21, which is Vietnam era.
Yeah, I think they were flying the Phantoms F4s. I think. And
Yes, they did
A lot
have
of
some
those.
Phantoms left.
yeah, they originally bought 70 some of them during the Shah. They were down to 30 or 40.
Yeah.
and now those are gone apparently.
Oh, they're gone now.
Well, they also, to keep those things flying, they were manufacturing some stuff because there's no spare parts left. We don't have them.
Yeah.
And they had warehouses full of a lot of repair stuff that they were using. They blew those things up too. The warehouses are gone.
Yeah.
The chances of repairing them and fixing them
Yeah.
from what they had were destroyed,
No.
which is not good.
We're working our way through the target list, and we're almost at the end of the target list, and now it's just targets of opportunity.
I think, did Trump say within the next week or two, we're pretty much running out of things to destroy?
Yeah. Well, and I think the timing of the 82nd Airborne, Army Corps,
I worry about
the
that.
2 Marine battalion landing teams, and all those things are all kind of arriving at the same time when Iran's timeline to make a decision.
Right.
And
The Tripoli's already there, but the Boxer isn't. The Boxer's that other amphibious.
31st MEU.
Yeah. It probably won't be there. That's probably why I extended it 10 days when they asked for 8. I gave
Yes.
10, probably.
Exactly. That was exactly what I told somebody. I said, yeah, they asked for 7 and he gave them 10. It's like, okay, well, when does the Boxer arrive? But
Right.
yeah. So I think, it's important to leave all those things on the table. And, he may decide to go in and take like Karg Island or something like that.
Don't know.
Or he may just say, screw it. Let's just blow up all their power plants and all their oil facilities.
Or do both.
And we'll get out of here.
Don't know.
And I think that's
He wants out. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to stay. That's
Yeah.
very obvious.
And I think part of that has got to be decided by the European nations. So like either you get in here because this is your oil.
Could he
or
say it
we're
more-
just going to,
Do you think he could say it more plainly than he already has?
I don't know. Well, I'd like to hear what he's saying behind the scenes in the direct
It's
calls.
it's overnight, but when he went on the air, it wasn't for you and me that he did
No.
that, because that was not new news when he did his last air. It was all stuff we knew. There was no new revelations.
I can just kind of hear the Trump conversations behind the scene. It's like, you pussy, what are you going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
And he said, look, we've done so much. We've knocked the Strait of Hormuz down. Now
Mhm.
you just have the guts go in and get your own oil. Get it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think some of those countries over there, the Middle Eastern countries, UAE, Saudi, and Qatar, I think Qatar, however you pronounce it, I think they're going to do something.
They've been apparently pushing the United States, please don't stop. They're
Right.
really pushing the allies and stuff.
And these disputed islands, I think those countries are going to take those islands back.
Well, that's what the Marines are for, I think.
Could be.
That's what they would be good at. And those islands are right near the strait. There's like 3 of them that are armed, or were. I don't know what's on now, but
Mhm.
apparently they would make ideal locations for us to arm to protect the boats.
Well, and that's why I think some of these islands, the Blue 82, 15,000 pound daisy cutter bomb,
Mhm.
I think dropping 4 or 5 of those on the island and then going in, I think would be.
Well, you can't do that on Karg. It's got like 8,500 people living there.
Yeah.
And it's got, civilian population that works on the docks and does all that stuff.
Well-
and they don't really want to blow up the oil
Right.
capacity.
Right. But I'm talking about these other
the other
small
3, the
islands.
ones that are
Yeah.
strictly just military.
Just blow the top off of
Level
them and
them.
then go in and take them.
Yeah. They're worried about apparently they're heavily mined, which would be no problem for the Marine hovercraft that go
Mhm.
in. And of course the helicopters,
Yeah, well, some of the mines though are sound detonated. So yeah, it's would need. Yeah, there'd need to be something. I think they have sleds and that kind of stuff that imitate ships and the sounds and that kind of stuff,
They
which
do.
could be pulled by helicopters. So the helicopters are above and in front of where the
right. But
sled is.
but they don't want to do that until they know that there's no way to shoot the helicopter. So all the helicopters have to move low and slow.
Right.
And same with anything. They're the minesweepers. They're low
Mhm.
and slow, and they don't defend themselves very well.
Yeah. And Karg Island is probably the toughest of them. Like I said, the other ones they can just reduce to nothing and then take
I
the
think
flat ground.
Karg Island would probably be one of the last.
Yeah.
And they'll be hungry by the time.
Yeah, that's another thing is how they're supplied, and
I don't think they can
water.
supply it right now.
Well, water would be the biggest thing. If there's a decel or something that supplies Karg Island, you take that out and you let them sit there for a week.
it's a pretty good city on Karg Island if it's
Mhm.
got 8,500 people.
Yeah.
It does. It has some, and I've seen some satellite pictures of it. It's got restaurants and shopping areas. And all
Oh
kinds
yeah,
of stuff.
I haven't seen a lot of it.
Yeah.
I mainly
Yeah,
studied.
you can just check Google Maps. It'll start showing you.
Well, when we were doing the gearing up for the Iranian invasion, I mainly studied Bandar Abbas and that area because that's where we were going in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But Karg, they've already hit the military portion of it
Mhm.
because there was a big military stuff, but they haven't hit the civilian population or the other stuff. I want to talk about lunch for a minute. I went to lunch the other day at Burger King and I was shocked that I got a Burger King meal and it was $8. And I thought they made a mistake
oh yeah.
because I don't
Would you get
do
a children's meal?
no, but I
You want the toy?
it's rare that I do fast food.
Yeah.
I couldn't run home that day. Normally I go home and have lunch with Helen, but I was busy. And so I said, well, I'll just go to Burger King because I know it's like $13, $15, something like that for a meal.
Mhm.
It was $8. I thought, no, I want the whole meal type stuff. And it was, I didn't know there was a price war going on.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
McDonald's is redoing their affordability. What they've done is they've realized that they've priced themselves out of the market.
Yeah.
And now they're revamping the value meal. And I just let you know that, Greg, you can go back at some point. A lot of it's not going to take effect until the end of this month or April 21st. April
Yeah.
21st could be, but they're going down to a 10 items under $3, $4 breakfast bundle, $4 meal options, $5 and $6 lunch meals.
Wow.
I was like,
yeah, the only time I really do fast food is when I'm traveling, like
Right.
back and forth to Phoenix or whatever. I'll stop at
and
Burger King or Carl's
suck it
or
up
something.
and go in there and like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
so much as eating out or something. Well,
Yeah.
that's gone up too.
I like Carl's, and I seem to because they got those Tesla charging stations there.
That's right.
I got a new Tesla, by the way. I'll show you to you. Yes.
Same model,
No,
different model.
I did.
Oh, I'm interested.
But anyway, tell me about this price war.
Fish fillet sandwich for $1.29 and 91. They're talking about, but now it's going to be down to under $3.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
So they're not the only one. So I hit the BK and they've already done it. and now McDonald's.
Hmm.
And I went back to the shop, Precision there, and I was talking to I said, "You won't believe this price that I got at Burger King," because it totally surprised me. I haven't been around. He goes,
Yeah.
"My daughter's in there." "Oh yeah, Dad, it's Whopper Wednesday." I'm like, "What is that?" How do you know this stuff?
Yeah. Now you're feeling old, right? It's like,
Well,
I don't know about this.
I don't do fast food really.
I only do it on the road. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'll go to I'll go to a regular restaurant.
So now I've got to
Fast
recheck
food
all the
on the road.
prices.
Yeah, maybe start eating lunch and dinner at the Burger King or
I don't know.
McDonald's or Carl's.
I want to
or
get
whatever.
unhealthy. I want
Yeah,
to
there
do
you
that. We talked about ICE and all that stuff. But Attorney General has also been replaced.
Yes,
Pam Bondi's gone.
Bondi. Yeah, I liked her too.
I do too. I liked her. Apparently not aggressive enough. But no one said anything bad about her.
No,
I mean,
and Trump's not saying anything bad
No.
about her. I think she just kind of messed up on this Epstein stuff. She misspoke a couple of times,
and they're denying that. They're denying that it was Epstein. And Todd Blanche, who is I guess he's now the acting, he was Pam Bondi's right hand, but he's saying that he says, "I've never heard President Trump say that Attorney General was that anything that happened to her had anything to do with the Epstein files." But who knows?
That's why I want Janine Pirro in there, because why hasn't Omar been prosecuted for this immigration fraud?
Right.
And Mondami the same. Why is that? I mean, Omar, it's almost, I mean, it's there. I mean, everybody knows that, she married her brother and all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's pretty much facts and evidence. And why hasn't she been prosecuted?
Beyond me.
Yeah. And it's, Mondami, I guess, is the same thing. He's got some immigration fraud in his background.
Does he?
Yeah. And
yeah, he was born in the United States. So.
Yeah, but there's something in there. I don't know if it's his wife and stuff, but I haven't heard but Omar, cut and dried. She should be out of here. Send her back to Somalia.
The fraud,
$31 million that she has.
Yeah, the fraud she created was to get her brother in, not to get her in. But still,
she married her brother.
Yeah, she did, and that may be grounds for decertification. I don't know, but if it is, she should be gone. Somali's already asking for her back.
Yes,
they said, "Bring us back our princess."
Well, that's because her father was one of these generals that was slaughtering people over there, and they lost in the revolution in Somalia. Their tribe lost in Somalia, and so they want her back because she's the part of the evil family that that was killing people in Somalia. Yes, I believe it's her father was one of the generals in the army that lost the revolution there.
Well, apparently, within Somalia, there's an unrecognized state of Somaliland or something that is asking for her back, even though they're not recognized by the United States as being a separate entity.
Yeah,
they are other states recognize them as being separate, a separate governing body.
Yeah.
So there's still a lot of problems over there.
Yeah. Well, and I told you, I've been there, but Somalia,
not good.
Oh, it has got to be. If it's not the worst country in the entire world,
you think it's up?
It's like right there. I don't know how anything can survive there. I mean, it's desolate desert. The Peace Corps or whatever it is went in and screwed up the wheat that they were growing.
Yeah, you said about that.
Yeah, and
change it to a different wheat, and then it died.
Yeah, it died because the irrigation system, they had a drought and the irrigation systems failed, and the new wheat can't survive in the low water environment, the desert and stuff. So it's Somalia's, I just don't know how people even survive there.
They steal.
There you go. They're getting our tax money, to buy what they need.
Apparently, we're a big part of their gross national product.
Yes,
because of the illegal money that's gone back to them.
Yeah,
not through normal channels, through clearing centers.
Yes. So did I hear that their entire gross national product was like $6 billion?
Yeah.
And like ours is like half of that or something like that. Our
something
tax
huge,
money. Yeah. And all that money was being flown out of Minneapolis Airport, which Minneapolis Airport is really manned and run by Somalis.
Yeah, but they registered the money. They know it went out because they registered it.
Yeah.
I'm carrying 10 million cash or something,
Yeah.
or however much it was. But as long as they declare it, it's legal.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
And that's,
I don't know how.
so hopefully they can track that. I know one suitcase had like 750,000.
Yeah.
And the TSA is like, what is this?
This
Is
has
it
got to
law
be
declared?
illegal. And the guy
Yeah.
says he doesn't even know where he got it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he was told to let him go.
Yeah.
It's not illegal if he declares it. One of the listeners wrote about, he said, Nome, Bondi, Bongino, probably Gabbard have or will leave the administration. Reminds me of the first administration. Maybe Tex Tillerson was right about Trump, unchallenged. I just think this is normal Trump.
You know,
He
I
moves
heard,
on.
I was trying to think who I was listening to had a good analysis of Trump, that Trump, you know, like in the case of Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi, that Trump wasn't pissed at him. It's
No.
just like the normal business that he, you know, he changes lawyers and stuff like.
Yeah, we got what we
Overnight.
can out of them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Job well done. Now we're going to step it up and put this other
Yeah.
guy in.
This person has this to offer and this person has this to offer. Well, we'll let them do their thing, and then we'll let somebody else come over and take it to the next level. And then when they're done, we'll look at the next
No,
person after that.
unlike his first term when he put a lot of people on that were just not good for him.
Well, and he trusted people. Recommendations.
This time he made his selections.
Yes.
And yes, he's replacing some of them, but not because of problems. He embraces all of them
Mm-hmm.
and says, thank you for your service.
It's like he hires them, and it's just, this is the way he was in the business sector too. That's what this guy said is, and it's like, okay, I want you to come in and this is what you're going to do. And then when you're done with that, then we're going to get somebody else to do this,
Yeah.
you know? And so he's not, even though his "you're fired" is like patented, but he's not really firing them. He's like, okay, mission accomplished. You accomplished what I wanted you to do. Now I want this person in to accomplish this. And you could see a couple of people going through. And
in his
doing
first
that.
term, he struggled. I mean, he put on Attorney General that he just hated.
Yes.
And it was verbal.
Yeah.
And then he brought in another Attorney General he didn't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's doing better now, a lot better, and because he's giving these people praise.
Yeah. Well, and they did. I mean, you know, Kristi Noem and Pam Bondi have done amazing things we, you know, I did not think we'd be able to accomplish that fast in 1 year.
And now they're going to tweak it even differently.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, who knows, maybe Trump got Pam Bondi, she's going to the private sector, which I was kind of surprised about, but maybe he got her a big job in the private sector.
I would imagine she's going to bring a bigger salary.
Oh yeah, in the private sector. Oh yeah,
and she's probably and Trump may end up hiring her.
Yeah,
who knows?
That could be, you know, like an SES1, which is the you know, in the top tier, only makes like 120,000 a year.
Yeah,
you know, and
this is a service to country.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not getting rich.
Well, it's like Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth made, I don't know, 4 or 5 million a year. And now he's making a couple 100,000, maybe. That's it.
Yeah.
He gave that all
But he's
up.
having a lot of fun.
He is.
You can tell he's enjoying himself.
Well, you know, and it's like you can sit back and bitch, or you can get in there and do something. And all these people he's got in his cabinet are people that have said, I want to get in and do something. Because a lot of them are millionaires, or even, you know, close to being
even
billionaires.
Bongino, who was fairly new on the radio, he was making a lot.
Yeah.
He was $1 million a year guy for sure. And but now he's back doing it.
Yep. Well, and see, he came in there and helped do some things, got him done, and then he moved back on it. Trump's not pissed at him.
And I think some of it was his family too, and the security thing. They were being doxxed, and so he got away from it.
Yeah, and I don't really like living in DC, so it's like,
This listener also says, wonder if the 1 to 2 billion per day worth in the Middle East, is it worth it? You know, we have enough problems in the U.S. Wonder what will be the feeling when ammonia nitrate starts affecting food production. It's true that ammonia nitrate comes through that strait.
Well, it also you know, it comes out of Ukraine. I mean, fertilizers came out of Ukraine
but a big,
stuff.
Big chunk of the world nitrate does come through there,
Yeah.
and we do need it
Yes.
for food. And if it doesn't ever get to us, there will be a food shortage in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's necessary. I question the 1 to 2 billion per day. I mean, I know that's the price tag, but if
Mhm.
that aircraft carrier is setting just anywhere in the world, it's still
Mhm.
costing that much.
Yes, it is.
So what difference does it make
The-
other than we are exploding some bombs that probably are getting to the point of outdated anyway?
Yeah.
These things do have a shelf life.
When they did talk about pulling out some of the old, 500-pound or 500-pound dumb bombs and
Yeah.
starting to use those, because now they can literally, dive bomb these targets, so they don't necessarily need guided munitions
Well,
for
and
all of them.
they strap a little machine on those dime
You
bombs
can,
and guide them.
put fins and a little
Yeah.
seeker head on that guides it. And
Which-
yeah,
B-52, I think I'm sure is dropping some of those. And some of the missiles they're firing though are very expensive,
mhm, they are.
and they're finding alternatives. I know Ukraine's down there working with them and getting them involved in a lot of anti-drone drones
Right.
and
Yeah,
teaching them.
I saw one that was like fired like a pistol. It was just like fired this drone like a pistol, and it went out and
Found
shot
it.
down this other drone and just blew it up. And it's like, wow. And
Yeah.
I mean, literally, he went like pulled it out and like a pistol and pulled the trigger, and it shot it out of the sky.
Ukraine's been innovative,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're giving us more help now in the Middle East than France or Spain
Mhm.
or Italy.
Yeah.
I can't believe these guys. Not only are they not going to help, you can't land your planes on the bases you have in our country.
That to me is
Pull out of NATO.
yeah. That I understand them not wanting to get involved and but denying you overflight rights and basing rights. That is that's to me, we should, if they really do that, and I guess they have, we should get out.
They
of
have
NATO.
done it.
Yeah.
And no one's coming in to help. I mean, I understand some of them are starting to talk like they're going to now, like the United Kingdom is talking about sending some stuff in there to help the strait. But Trump says, if you want it, they're going to have to.
It's like, fine. And I think that attitude's fine. It's like, fine.
Yeah.
If you're not going to help with this, we're just going to blow up all the oil and blow up the Carg Island, and you figure it out.
You're being corrected on the SES pay range.
Okay.
It's now 151K to 228.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
26. So get up with the times, Greg.
I'm sorry. I was offered an SES job, and I think it was like 120. It's like, I'm not going to live on 120,000 in DC. That's nuts.
Yeah, DC's expensive.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, well, they've adjusted. They wouldn't give you free.
That was quite a few years ago, though. So
My son, if I'm not mistaken, his pay, and he's in the Air Force. He gets free housing plus his pay.
mhm.
Is that right? Is that the way that works?
in the military, you have COLA, cost of living allowance adjustments, and things like that, and then you have variable housing allowance. So everybody
Depending
gets
on
a
where you're at.
base amount for rent or buying a house, whatever, and then depending upon the area, like you said, there's a VHA, variable housing allowance, which goes up and down depending upon how expensive it is.
And then he gets additional pay for being offshore.
Yes.
Yeah. And he doesn't have to pay any income tax because he's offshore, active duty.
Yeah, no, it used to be, again, okay, my numbers are dated, but it used to be even when you were a civilian, when you worked overseas, you didn't have to pay taxes on the first 88,000.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably gone way up since then. So Edward can correct me on that, but that's what it used to be. And
So it's, he's been living it for a decade or better. That he just says, man, I like being overseas.
mhm.
Japan, United Arab Emirates, Sicily.
Well, and a lot of
UK.
times, the cost of living in a lot of these places like Portugal and stuff like that is not near what it is in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets a housing allowance.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good for him. And now he's in Tucson.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Got to go to Tucson.
Not my cup of tea.
I haven't talked to him about it. I don't know what his mission's going to be. I don't know what he's going to be
There's
doing.
some areas around Tucson. Marana is like much better than Tucson. Verana's
I,
more.
I don't know where his base. I mean, where he's going to have to report. Because is there an Air Force base in Tucson? I didn't even look it up.
There's
Okay,
Davis Motham.
Davis. Oh, Davis Motham. Okay, yeah, there's a big one.
A-10s.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they part of the reason why they wanted to save the A-10s because they're here. A lot of them are here in Arizona and I think Georgia. I think they're split. There's 103 airplanes left, I think, right now.
Now, when I was flying and I land in Tucson at the big airport there, there would be A-10s in the pattern, and I'd have to taxi with A-10s and stuff. So they didn't just land on a military base; they would land there at the regular airports and stuff.
Yeah, they do cross countries and all that kind of stuff. And
so I don't know if it's National Guard there too or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the makeup of the pilots is. I know some are active duty, and a lot of the refuelers and that kind of stuff. They're reservists because I mean that makes sense because they're civilian pilots. It's what used to be the Boeing 707 platform, and I think now it's KC.
It's something different.
Yeah, they're now the KC-10, whatever the other different DC-10 platform. I think some of them, and yeah, I'm not sure what they're using right now.
The U.S. Embassy in Cairo has issued security alerts for Americans in Egypt. I think that's for everywhere over there, isn't it? The State Department travel advisory for Egypt remains unchanged at level 2, exercise and increased caution, with do not travel guidance for northern middle Sinai, as well as parts of the Western Desert. I don't think it's a place to go right now.
No, Sinai, no, that's not a good place. Yeah. And so now is a good time to find those vacation spots.
Is it be cheaper
in the United States that you haven't learned? But yeah, it would be cheaper to go overseas.
Yeah, you got the hotel to yourself and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but the State Department's warning everybody. Yeah. And as of March 28th, U.S. citizens can enter Taba. What's Taba? Taba border. I don't even know exactly where that is.
Don't know.
But the potential targets that the Iranian-aligned actors are looking for: religious sites, tourist sites, transportation centers, malls, restaurants, resorts, roadside checkpoints. All dangerous. It's not military targets.
No. Well, they're looking for soft targets, and a lot of those countries you can't carry weapons, so they're very soft.
Well, Taba, I guess, is in Egypt.
Okay.
There's a free visa on arrival may be used by Americans departing Egypt from Taba or El Sham El Sheikh Airport, International Airport, without transiting through Cairo. They're saying just get out.
Yeah. Well, and that's we had planned to kind of travel a trip to Europe, up in the northwest Europe part, but we kind of put that off, decided we just wait because we don't know how bad this is going to get, because Europe's in trouble now too.
Oh yeah, they have such a big
the UK, but the good thing is the EU just voted to expedite these getting the illegals out.
Really?
Yeah,
they're following Trump's pattern.
They have. Now how that's going to pay off with the rest of the countries, I mean, because like like London and England are really bad shape. They're like bad. So,
well, they say if you go to Cairo, they recommend you carry at least $175 in cash per person for visas, because there's a toll.
No, they're called bribes.
So what that is?
Yeah,
they called it visas. It's not, maybe it's not a visa.
Yeah. That's how you stay out of jail and get through in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Drop a 50 or 100 here and there.
Goodness.
Yeah. So 175, that's how much you need to get through now.
That's what they're saying per person.
Yeah.
You need to carry it.
Yeah.
The world's oldest land animal is still alive. There was a hoax out there, and I thought, well, Nancy Pelosi's okay or something, but apparently it wasn't her.
Yeah. What is cockroach?
No.
Oh,
it's a tortoise.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan the tortoise. I didn't even know it was. On April Fool's, they put out stories that Jonathan the tortoise had died.
Okay.
And it came from, apparently, the veterinarian. It's the personal veterinarian of Jonathan is Joe Hollins. And so they made up a fake website and said that the tortoise died and all that. And apparently a lot of your main news picked it up. and put it out there. You know, the CBSs and NBCs and all that stuff.
So how old is Jonathan?
Born in 1832.
Okay.
Is what they believe.
Okay.
It was already an adult tortoise by the time it arrived in St. Helena in 1882. And it's still alive and kicking. They don't really know why, but somebody should figure that out.
Yeah. So
that might be useful information.
Yeah, it's almost 200 years old then.
Yeah, 1832. Yeah, almost 200. And it says today he holds the title of the world's oldest living land animal. He lives on the grounds of a plantation house, official residence of the island's governor, where he became a local celebrity. As the official birth date is December 4th, but they don't really know, but they gave it that.
Yeah.
They said, look, here's your birthday. I don't think the tortoise cares one way or another.
Well, he probably cares because he probably gets like fresh heads of lettuce and all kinds of stuff on his birthday.
Yeah. Well, this tortoise is 193 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
So I had to look up the difference between a tortoise and a turtle. Do you know?
A tortoise lives on land and turtle lives in the water.
I didn't know that, but you're right.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. So what is the difference between a tortoise and a turtle? So now I got it right.
Yeah.
The shells are shaped a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So they could be, water, being a little more aerodynamic.
Yeah. Well, the tortoise moves slow, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously
It's doing it on land, not in water.
Yeah. It's moving in slow-mo.
Yeah, but the thing gained traction when it came out. Strictly an April Fool's prank. I forgot it was April Fool's. I didn't pull a prank on anybody.
No, but I read everything I read on the first thing in my mind was like, okay, is this an April Fool's joke or not?
I don't know.
Yeah. And
there's so many things going on.
Oh yeah. And so much false information on the Facebook and
seems to be a
Instagram and
thing.
Web. Yeah. And that's why ChatGPT is a good thing, because everything you read on there, then you can go into ChatGPT and check it to see if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I warn anybody gets a desert turtle. Just know what you're getting. It's going to live a long time.
Tortoise. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Or tortoise, not a turtle.
Yeah.
Tortoise.
That's people have them in their backyards.
Oh, they have them for generations.
Yeah.
And apparently they're quite the diggers, though. They can dig out if they want and leave.
Yeah.
They are. I've seen a few of them around. I've never wanted to have one in my yard, but
no.
But a lot of people like them. They name them and they give them to their kids and grandkids later because they do live a long time.
Yeah.
They do. And they're endangered species. In fact, I went and visited the gold mine when they were active. I think it was in California or somewhere nearby. And there was signs up about tortoises, about being endangered. And I said, well, I don't know. I've seen one. What do they taste like? And they all but threw me out of there.
Yeah. Up on Black Mountain over here in California, they have tortoises out there.
Yeah.
And if a tortoise is like on the road, you're not allowed to go there for like a long time. You have to back. You can't go to your radio site or anything like that. You got to back out.
Oh, this gold mine was very gentle with. We have a protocol. We have to be very careful of these things.
Yeah.
When they pop up.
Well, and because you can scare them or whatever, and they release their water or something, and they might die. So you have
really.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what the concern is, because they hold water and yeah, if they release their water or whatever, they can die.
Wow. I didn't know.
So bring a bowl of water with
for
water.
Let them rejuvenate.
Yeah, rehydrate them.
Yeah. JetBlue has raised their fees on check bags. All of them are doing it because of the price of fuel.
Well,
the ticket price is more sensitive than the bag price.
Did they lower the prices when the price of fuel went down?
Oh, come on. Don't joke with me.
Well, it's the same thing with APS. They're asking for a rate increase, but when the price of natural gas and all that stuff go down, are they going to lower the rates?
No.
Plus, Palo Verde, it produces the same power for the same costs 20 years ago that they do now.
They have a tremendous amount of fuel sitting at that right there, what they call waste. That can be in Europe and others actually reprocess it and use it.
Yeah.
We could probably operate that thing for the next 50 years with the fuel that's sitting right there right now.
Yeah. And that's hopefully the Trump administration, Lee Zeldin that we were talking about, will take
Right.
care of that.
He's
so
looking
we
at
can
that.
do that. Yeah.
Because
Yep.
other countries do reprocess it.
Mhm.
We chose not to because it would cause it to be enriched more, which possibly even up to weapons grade. Which, okay, but you're still using it for power. You're not selling it out the back door.
Yeah. But I don't think if they just reprocess it, I don't think they have to refine it that far to get it up to
I don't know.
like,
That was one of the excuses I heard at one time. I'm
yeah,
not the
'cause
engineer.
I think like commercial nuclear power is like 20%, I think.
Well, Iran had theirs up to 60.
60.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks away from going to 90. for
Right. Which
a
would have
bomb.
been there.
Yeah.
But they could reprocess, but instead they put it in these cast things that and stick them out on an area in the open. They're in the open, but these
Yeah.
heavy concrete cast
Mhm.
containers.
Yeah.
And they could open those and reprocess it and refuel their power plant.
Yeah. I think that's probably what they're hoping for, that they can do that and reuse it. So,
Yeah.
so hopefully Trump will come through on that. and
You know,
Zeldin
no
figure it
waste
out.
is left. Palo Verde. It's there from the day it started till today. It's still
Yeah.
there.
Well, and it's that reprocessing, that's some more jobs.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
another,
Somebody's going to have to do it.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know how. I can't help.
And if they have all these AI places coming online that can do these modular reactors, that's
There's
more power to
a lot of stories about these modular reactors out
Mhm.
there now. A lot of countries are looking at that. I think it was Ontario.
Yeah.
Is looking at that.
Yeah.
And did you hear that Alberta is voting for independence?
Yes, I did.
Well, apparently they got enough signatures. They needed 177,000 signatures required for this referendum to become independent of Canada. And it's not, it's due to be voted on in October, but they're still collecting signatures anyway, even though they've already got the recommended amount.
Because they think the government's going to try to stop them.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just smart to keep collecting
Yeah.
just in case they go through and say, no, some of these we're going to throw them out or something.
Yeah.
They're going to throw them out. But Ontario is putting in what they call the SMRs. That's a small modular reactors. And they're saying these SMRs can produce enough electricity for 300,000 homes. So if we had one SMR in Yuma, it would take care of our needs here in the city, in the county, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still fairly new stuff. I mean, as far as putting them into residential areas and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we've had them on aircraft carriers and submarines and all that kind of stuff forever. And so doing it is not that, to me, it's not that hard. I mean, they got to obviously make sure that they're safe, but
Right.
you know, ships have a lot of water to be able to cool them and that kind of thing. But
Well, apparently the Providences have been petitioning, saying, look, we need these things. And they're asking the energy ministers to like get on it. Let's get them done.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we haven't been further along.
well, I think it's, you know, things that happen like at 3 Mile Island and some of those other places
Right.
that,
Well, I wouldn't want any 1950s technology either.
no,
And
No.
that's not what these things are.
right.
You know, Fukushima and then that one in Ukraine that blew up. I mean,
Yeah.
that was Russian 1950 technology.
Mhm.
And
Well, and you know, Palo Verde is still an analog plant. It's not digital.
I would be curious though if it's the type of plant that Fukushima had, which was if power shuts down, that plant exposes the rods because there's no power to keep. That's why it went south, because that tidal wave blew out all the power. And with no power, they couldn't keep it cool because it was the power that kept it cool.
Mhm.
Now, my understanding, modern ones, if the power goes out, it floods the area so they stay cool. In fact, it'd shut it down.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it would do the opposite. It reminds me of brakes on a tractor trailer. It used to be when brakes on a tractor trailer, if you lost hydraulics, you couldn't put the brakes on.
Yeah.
But now they changed it
Mhm.
to where if you lost hydraulic, the brakes lock up.
Yes. Yeah. remember that. If you got your 2 hoses, and I
Right.
drove trucks for a couple
Yeah.
of years. Yeah.
Yeah, but the old ones, you lose hydraulics, that's a runaway.
Yeah.
That's very bad.
That's a bad news. Yeah.
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Same with these power plants. All the modern ones have, systems that flood it with cooling instead of eliminating the
Right.
cooling.
Right.
So we don't build them like that anymore, but it's still scaring people. And you know how many people died in 3 Mile Island? None.
Yeah.
Nobody even
Wow.
got sick. It just was scary.
Yeah.
I lived in Delaware when that happened.
Well, my fact checker just told me an F-15 was shot down over Iran. Pilot ejected.
Do you believe her?
My fact checker? Yeah.
I would.
Yes. Yes.
I'd tread lightly on that one.
Yeah. I don't know anything other than that. I just
Wow.
saw. Yeah.
It's possible.
So that's the first airplane that's been lost.
And the pilot said, okay.
I don't know.
Well, eject out is one thing, but did it land in a place of out of harm's way?
Don't know. I don't know if they have CSAR capabilities, combat SAR,
Yeah.
go in and rescue them. Well, I know they have it because A-10s and stuff like that could do a CSAR. I'm sure they have a plan, but yeah, I don't know.
F-15 is a lot of them are jammers and stuff too. They're usually pretty.
Yeah, I'm
And they're
not
flying.
sure if it's a Strike Eagle or
Yeah,
if it's a regular
could be the one.
So yeah,
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but
Hopefully the pilot's okay.
Yeah. That's the first combat loss of an airplane. I mean, there've
Yeah.
been some on the ground, but that's the first one in the air.
Well, we had 3 in Kuwait that were friendly fire.
Yeah, but
That was
I don't
crazy.
consider that a combat loss.
No.
They're back flying and
All those
bombing and
pilots were in
striking.
on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Trump
all-
talked about that.
Yeah, he did.
Said those 3 guys are back flying. They're
Yeah.
all fine.
Yeah.
Which is sketchy because some of those ejection seats are pretty brutal.
Yeah, they can compress your spine and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
getting
you
out
could
of
walk
the
away
airplane.
injured. You could
Yeah.
walk away and not
Mhm.
and lose your pilot capability, pass your physical.
Yeah,
So they must have made it a more gentle ejection seat. Who knows?
maybe.
I don't know.
But
Yeah.
at first they got it. They got to get you out of the airplane fast because
Oh yeah.
yeah, I guess you can't eject. I guess if it's going Mach 1, but that would be a shock. But
Wow.
having to slow it down as much as possible. So
Yeah, these SMRs. I don't even know who's manufacturing them. We don't do it in the United States.
mm-mm.
We've got one that was dropped off at a university to study
Mhm.
it and all that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
and it came offshore somewhere.
Yeah.
We're getting serious about. We should have thousands of them.
yeah, I
Apparently,
agree.
that's one of the cheapest electricity available.
Well, as they, one of the issues when they retire the nuclear submarines and I guess the ships is that the metal around the reactors degrades over time because of the radiation. But I mean, I think we're at the point where we're probably getting ready to retire some nuclear ships.
They got to
and
be
may-
dismantled.
Yeah, and maybe we can take some of those reactors and repurpose them for commercial use.
Russia had some submarines that were supposed to be dismantled and stuff because they were
Mhm.
retired, and but they took it out on a last mission, and lo and behold, it sank.
Yes.
So it's at the bottom of the ocean, causing all kinds of leakage and all.
Is there one in the North Sea or something
Yeah.
like that?
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
And some of that early on, they scuttled them intentionally, and then like the international committees that do that, were helping. Said that we're gonna, you need to retire, which they were going to do, and they were going to
Mhm.
reclaim Ukrainian women, but it was like ungodly costly.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately, it had a fire, and they had to abandon ship, and it just sank.
Yeah.
It's someone else's problem.
Yeah.
They were one of the specials I saw on that. They were talking about what it would take to retrieve it just to stop the leakage
Mhm.
that's causing problems at the ocean. But who's going to pay for it? Russia's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
Well, and there are massive in Russia. There are some massive areas where they've released chemicals and that kind of stuff, and everything's dead. It's just no vegetations, no nothing,
Yeah.
and it's mainly from chemicals that that have been released.
Intentionally released and all that
Yep,
kind of stuff.
yep.
But so we had a bad history in our country
Mhm.
at one time. I've seen pictures of Colorado where there was no trees in Colorado.
Yeah.
During the rush, the gold rushes and all that. And there was no regulation.
Right.
And then all the leaching that they did for the gold was
With the-
caustic materials.
The
that they just-
arsenic
yeah.
coming off it. Yeah, they use arsenic for
And
that.
they just leased it into the drinking water.
Mhm.
You know, it just went downriver, came to Yuma.
Right. There you go.
It was a different time. And then you got things like 3 Mile Island and other things.
Mhm.
But we've been on the straight and narrow for quite a while.
Yeah.
At least legally.
Well, and you know, they're
going
going to reopen 3 Mile Island, so they must have got some mitigation and things done there. So,
able to clean it up.
well, if I remember right, there's one reactor that was still online. Now they're going to reopen and get the other reactor back on.
Are you talking about 3 Mile Island?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of Love Canal too. Love Canal,
Oh.
was where the
okay.
residential area was.
Yeah.
It was built on a dump,
Right.
which they had dumped all this toxic material and everybody had got cancer.
Yeah.
They went in to clean that up too.
See, that's what we were talking about with Wendy McKay. We were talking about we need Aaron Brockovich here
Yes.
to take care of the flies. We're going to Aaron Brockovich their ass.
Or maybe you could just dress as Aaron Brockovich and they wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. You can call up Christy Nome's husband. Or something like
Oh
that.
man, that
Yeah.
would not be, that's
No.
not a pretty
No.
sight. I'm running out of time.
Yeah.
It's been 3 hours. You know, we haven't had any break.
Nope. No break.
One small story here on the Iran's covert drone network, Sparks Fears, the covert drone. They're saying that that technology has crossed our border
Mm-hmm.
and other borders. That these drones that they're using, you know, small personal attack drones and all that other stuff.
Well, the Border Patrol's been battling them here on the Mexico border here.
Right, and those are delivering illegal products. They're
Mhm.
talking about the
Right.
possibility of having Iran in here just to cause problems to hit soft targets
Mhm.
with these FPV drones, which are smaller anti-personnel mostly and stuff.
Right.
Or they can take out tanks even if they're
Mhm.
equipped,
Yes.
and you can fly them right into a tank or fly them into a building, fly them into a person.
Yeah. And that's so my nephew has got some laser weapon systems that are very effective against drones and anything that's flying. But I can see one day, you know, if this world gets to such a bad place where we're deploying laser weapon systems around things like Super Bowls and stuff like that.
They have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to do it now. I think the threat's there,
I do too.
and there's enough crazies
Mhm.
that are out there. The threats there. When you see what they're doing in Ukraine, Ukraine is they're the most professionals as far as having hands-on use and activity and success, and have gone through all the stuff.
Yeah.
They're battle tested.
Yeah. But I think going into Iran was still the right choice because whether we did that or not, they're still coming for us. And
Yes. We should have faced it decades ago.
and if we would have waited even 6 months, they would have had several. I mean, they're producing 100 drones a month, something like that.
Yeah.
And you know, their idea was that they'd get so many drones that nobody would ever take them on. Of course,
Right.
they did not understand Donald Trump, and
And the capability of our military is just beyond their understanding. They really thought with these hypersonic missiles, the
Mhm.
drones and the combination, and then the fast boats and everything, they could overwhelm an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
Not even close.
no, and I guess they've shot it hundreds of times.
Yes.
and they've been able to mitigate all of them, shoot them down.
Well, and the aircraft carrier has a group. They're not on their own. They're pretty powerful on their own.
Right.
They have a group.
Yeah, it's a carrier group. Yes.
Yeah, they got protection
Yes.
and a lot of it. So for these guys, it's just exercise.
Aegis cruisers and destroyers and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Spy
everything,
radars. Yes.
everything underwater, above water,
Yeah.
in space, you name it. They got it covered.
Mm-hmm.
Greg, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out
Thanks.
and look at that Tesla.
Okay.
I'll be
All
back on Monday. Have a great weekend.